Wọ́n ní ìlú tí ò sófin kò ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀. So therefore, òfin is a guiding principle. Tó máa jẹ́ ká behave. Àwọn kan ti mọ́ wa lára, so we're doing good. Lákọ̀ọ́kọ́, meeting is for 3 hours, as stated earlier. 3 hours, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Yoruba time. And sometimes we bring in guest speakers, and sometimes we have interactive sessions. For today, I think we're going to have interactive sessions. Yes, we're going to have panelists. And then I'm very questions. Question and answer. Gbà wá láyè láti béèrè question kankan, one person per question, and unfortunately torí àsìkò a lè gbà wá láyè ju 1 minute lọ, and a lè gbà ju 20 questions lọ, which means èèyàn 20 ló lè béèrè questions, and questions wa ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ má jẹ́ kó ju 60 seconds lọ by each questions. Tí a bá ní ẹni tó ní ìmọ̀ràn láti gbà wá, àbí wọ́n ní nǹkan tó fẹ́ share pẹ̀lú directorate tí wọ́n fẹ́ kó hàn sí gbangba, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ lè fún ìmọ̀ràn, ẹ lè sọ sínú chat box, you can write it in the chat box, and if you feel like whatever you want to say is not something you'd like to make public, there's the email one, info@yngd.org. info@yngd.org. I hope I got that right. Otherwise, you can go on the website and you will see it there. So, ẹ jọ̀ọ́, a ní tolerate rowdiness, which means in pé tí nǹkan bá ń sọ̀rọ̀, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ jẹ́ ká jẹ́ kó sọ̀rọ̀, ká má sọ̀rọ̀ lórí ara wa. One person at a time, gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọlúwàbí tá jẹ́. And I'm seeing a poster here saying today is our brunch. I didn't get that memo. Oh, okay. Fún àwọn ará church yẹn, ní àwọn tó wà ní America. So, yeah, that being said, ẹ má bínú dàbí kò yẹ kí n kàn yín, ẹ má bínú, anyways, that's a distraction. Yeah, 20 seconds per 20 question for the meeting, 1 question per person, and any observation should be scribbled in the chat box. And Ejo, like I said earlier, Ejo má jẹ́ ká sọ̀rọ̀ dé orí ara wa, ọmọlúwàbí ni wá. So let's portray that. Láì fàsìkò ṣòfò, máa pe Barrister Ògèdèngbé kó wá bá wa play Yoruba Nation National Anthem.
The national anthem of the newly formed Ududuwa Nation.
nítòótọ́ àwa ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ ògo adúláwọ̀. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ má play music o. Okay, thank you. Má pe mọ́mì wa Princess Adéọlá Àtayọ̀ Ọlámídìlọ. Wọ́n wá fún wa ní Saturday dose.
Ẹ ṣé gan ni. Ẹ káàárọ̀, ẹ káàsán, ẹ káalẹ́ ní ibi gbogbo tí a gbé wà lénìí. A kú ọjọ́ Sátidé, ọjọ́ àbámẹ́ta, and ní ọ̀dọ̀ wa ń bí ó ti di ọjọ́ ìsinmi. A dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run tó mú gbogbo wa pàdé ní ọjọ́ ìní. Ojú òní tiwa o, Olúwa dẹ̀ máa wà pẹ̀lú wa. Mo tún fẹ́ gbà wá níyànjú nípa inauguration tí wọ́n máa ṣe in a few days. Ẹ jọ̀wọ́ ẹ jẹ́ kí àwọn èèyàn wa kán hùwà ọmọlúwàbí tí a jẹ́, and kí a dẹ̀ mọ̀ wípé gbogbo ọ̀nà tí à ń gbà, we are going to be taking a legal route. We are not going to be seen as àwọn tí ó máa da nǹkan rú. So mo bẹ̀ yín, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ nítorí Ọlọ́run, ẹ jẹ́ ká hùwà ọmọlúwàbí. And also mo fẹ́ fi àsìkò yìí dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n ń fún wa ní owó, all our donors from mo dúpẹ́, mo dẹ̀ gbàdúrà wípé ibi tí ẹ ti mú owó yẹn ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ní Olódùmarè á fi rọ́pò, ojú òní tì wá. Mo dẹ̀ tún fẹ́ welcome us once again, the directorate family, and I want to ask us to enjoy today's meeting, and at the end of the day, we will all have the cause to thank God. Ẹ ṣé gan ni, thanks for coming, and Olúwa á gbè wá o, kò ní gbé àwọn ọ̀dàlẹ̀. Ẹ ṣé gan ni. Over to you, Princess.
Ẹ ṣé gidi gan ni mà. Nísìnyí máa pe Barrister Ògìdìngbẹ̀yìn náà ni màá tún pè again. So wá bá play the YNGD montage. Barrister Ògìdìngbẹ̀ ṣe é tí lọ fà.
Mi ò ṣe ra mo wà ń bí èmi lọ́kàn.
Okay.
Ẹ ṣé.
Ti fún tẹ̀dọ̀ hóun. Bá a bímọ nílé olówó, oyè ó lè ṣèṣe olówó. Bá a bímọ nílé ọlọ́rọ̀, oyè ó lè rìnrìn ọlọ́lá, kó rìnyàn fanda rìnrìn ọlọ́rọ̀. Ọmọ tá a bá bí ńlẹ̀ Yorùbá yẹ kó mọ ti fún tẹ̀dọ̀ ohun àṣà àtìṣe ilẹ̀ Yorùbá dẹ́kun délẹ̀. Tó fi mọ́ ìtàn ohun orísun ilẹ̀ Yorùbá àtàwọn bíi tó ṣe é mú yẹn gan tó dùn ún wò nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Ẹ wo Ẹ̀rìn Ìjẹ̀ṣà waterfall kẹ́ẹ̀tún wò Kọ́gùsì níbi tómi gbóná àti tútù ti pàdé. Ìdẹ̀rẹ̀ hill nínú odò ń kọ́ àtòkè Olúmọ lẹ́gbàá Aláké. Nání ohun ànílà nání. Ìdí ẹ̀ gan nìyí tí Yorùbá Nation Global Directorate fi gbé ètò kan ràbàǹdẹ̀ kalẹ̀ ní gbogbo ọjọ́ àbámẹ́ta ọjọ́ Sátidé fún gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá láti kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ mẹ́kọ̀ọ́ kọ́gbọ́n mọ́gbọ́n nípa àṣà, ìṣe, ìtàn, ìṣẹ̀dálẹ̀ àti òkodoro ọ̀rọ̀ nípa Yorùbá tó fi mọ́ ohun tó rọ̀ mọ́ ìjàngbara fún orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá. Ẹ ṣáà mọ̀ pé bí olóde ò bá kú ojúdere ò ní wu koríko, àìsí níbẹ̀ sì láì bá wọn dá sí i. Wọ́n pín kò kàn mí onítọ̀hún ò yọjú síbẹ̀ ní. Darapọ̀ lórí ìkànnì YouTube ní gbogbo ọjọ́ Sátidé ní dédé aago 3 ọ̀sán Nàìjíríà, tàbí kó o darapọ̀ lórí Zoom fi àtẹ̀jíṣẹ́ mo fẹ́ darapọ̀ ránṣẹ́ sórí ìkànnì ímeèlì yìí yorubaнаtionglobal.d@gmail.com. Ìkànnì Yorùbá Nation Global Directorate lẹ́yìn tí rí wò lórí YouTube. Oríṣiríṣi àlejò tó jẹ́ ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n tó nímọ̀ tó tó gbangba sùn lọ́yẹ́ ńlẹ́ ọmọ bá pàdé lọ́sọ̀ọ̀sẹ̀ fún ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ohun ọ̀rọ̀ ìyànjú àti ọ̀rọ̀ nípa ìlọsíwájú àti akitiyan gbígba òmìnira ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Jẹ́ ká jọ pàdé níbi ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ tọjọ́ àbámẹ́ta tọ̀sẹ̀ yìí. Kẹ́kù lẹ́gbọ́ kó sọ fún toko pé a kì í fárílẹ́yìn olórí, ẹni tó ní nǹkan ó da òní ò ṣe ń bẹ̀. Yorùbá ò ní parun o, Yorùbá ò ní rẹ̀yìn láíláí. Yorùbá Nation Global Directorate lolùkéde.
Ẹ ṣé gan ni. Màá pe dáàdi wa Apostle Raphael Adébáyọ̀. Although wọ́n ti fún wọn ránṣẹ́ pé àwọn máa pẹ́ díẹ̀, so mi ò mọ̀ bí wọ́n ti wà níbí báyìí. Apostle Raphael Adébáyọ̀.
I think Barrister Dumosho should stand in for him.
Okay, all right then.
Barrister.
Yeah. Ẹ káàsán, ẹ káalẹ́, ẹ káàárọ̀ ní gbogbo ibi tá a wà o. A tún ti dé bí a ṣe ń dé. A tún ti dé bí a ṣe ń dé o. Àwa ké bá yín láti béèrè fún ìrànlọ́wọ́. Gbogbo iná lẹ ti rí iṣẹ́ tá à ń ṣe pé iṣẹ́ ribiribi là ń ṣe. A dẹ̀ continue àti máa ṣe àwọn iṣẹ́ yẹn. Wọ́n dẹ̀ ní tí ò bá ti sí owó ọ̀rọ̀ ò sí torí ẹ̀ a fẹ́ bẹ̀ yín, a fẹ́ rọ̀ yín wípé ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń fún wa ẹ má jẹ́ kó sú yín. Ọ̀nà tá a ṣe ń lọ ó sì jìn ṣùgbọ́n Ọlọ́run máa mú wa débẹ̀ tá a bá ti ní ìgbàgbọ́ tá a dẹ̀ ní ọkàn pé a máa débẹ̀ ní agbára Ọlọ́run. So tí n bá ti sọ̀rọ̀ tó ń sì máa fi àkáǹtì wa through website wa sórí chat box kẹ́ fi owó ràn wá lọ́wọ́. Kò séye tẹ́ fún wa tó kéré jù bó jẹ́ £10 bó jẹ́ $10 bó dẹ̀ jẹ́ $100 bó jẹ́ $1,000 gbogbo ẹ̀ náà ni a máa acknowledge pé a gbà tá a dẹ̀ máa fún yín ní account bá ṣe máa ń fún yín ní oṣooṣù gẹ́gẹ́ bí account department wa ti máa ń ṣe. Torí ẹ̀ a rọ̀ yín ẹ má jẹ́ kó sú yín ẹ má jẹ́ kó rẹ̀ yín ẹ ràn wá lọ́wọ́. Iṣẹ́ tó sì wà nílẹ̀ ó sì lẹ́dọ̀. Ẹ má jẹ́ ká rò pé bóyá torí pé èèyàn wa náà fẹ́ gbé síbẹ̀ torí ẹ̀ gbogbo ẹ̀ ó ti dópin a ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ni o. Gbogbo ìta ń rí látọjọ́ footnote la ṣe ń rí a ṣe bọ́ sí preface báyìí nínú ìwé ìjàngbara tí ó ń lọ lọ́wọ́. So tàbí ìdàgbàsókè tàbádẹ́ bọ́ sí preface a máa bọ́ sí introduction àti ẹ̀ máa bọ́ sí chapter 1. So a dẹ̀ ń gbàdúrà pé lágbára Ọlọ́run ìgbà tá a máa bọ́ sí chapter 1 yẹn ojú gbogbo wa ojú ẹ̀mí wa ló máa ṣe kò ní ṣẹ̀yìn wa. So ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ ràn wá lọ́wọ́ oyekóye tẹ́ ẹ bá lè fi fún wa ẹ fún wa kò sí iye tó kéré jù ẹ ṣé. Princess. Unmute yourself.
Okay, ẹ ṣé gan ni Barrister. Ẹ má bínú, we were distracted a little bit. Ṣé ẹ ṣe tán àbí?
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Okay, ṣe bá wa rán wọn létí àwọn anonymous donor wa náà.
Yes.
Okay, ẹ máa ń pè Barrister Ògìdèngbé ń sìn wọ́n wá bá wa ṣe ìmọ̀ràn fídíò.
Okay. Yes.
kéré o Yorùbá Nation Global Directorate fi tọ̀wọ̀tọ̀wọ̀ pè yín sí ìpàdé ọ̀sẹ̀ọ̀sẹ̀ tí ó máa ń wáyé ní gbogbo ọjọ́ sátidé lórí ẹ̀rọ ayélujára tí gbogbo wa mọ̀ sí Zoom.
Ó ti wà muted o.
Mo kí yín ẹ̀yin ará mi, mo kí yín lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ lọ́kùnrin lóbìnrin, mo kí yín ẹ rọra ẹ pẹ̀lẹ́. Èyí mo fẹ́ sí wa létí pàkọ́, mo dẹ̀ fẹ́ rán wa létí ká má bàa kábàámọ̀ ibi mọ́. Ẹ má jà gbàgbé pé a ti ń jìyà yìí bọ̀ láti ọdún tó ti pẹ́. Òótọ́ lẹ sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni. Mo bẹ̀ wá mo rọ̀ wá ká má torí kínkín ká fi sọ ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ nù. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ jẹ́ á kíyèsára. Ẹ má jẹ́ kí wọ́n fi owó tàn wá jẹ ká má ti torí owó sọ ọjọ́ ọ̀la wa nù. Ẹ má jà gba rìbá ká tó tẹ̀lé yàn. Ẹ má jà gba rìbá. Ẹ jẹ́ ká wà ṣọ́ra ká máa ṣọ́ra ní gbogbo ìgbà. Ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣọ́ra fáwọn èèyàn burúkú tó ń gbé ní àyíká wa, àwọn àjèjì láyìíká wa, àwọn agbénipa. Ẹ jẹ́ ká síra wa létí ìpàkọ́. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wọn ló ń gbé láyìíká wa tí wọ́n ń wá ọ̀nà láti ṣe ìjàmbá fún wa. Ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi, ẹ má jà sọ idà wa nù. Ẹ jẹ́ ká gbáradì, ká fura, ká ṣọ́ra. Ọ̀rọ̀ mi nìyí sí yín, ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi, ẹ̀yin ará mi. Ọlọ́run á wà pẹ̀lú wa. Àmín.
Princess.
Ẹ ṣe gan. Bí a kí rán wa létí website wa. It's www.yorubanationgd.com. I mean .org. O-R-G. www.yorubanationgd.org. Okay, so màá pe mọ́mì Òtúnṣílé kọ́ wá bá wa ka news update. Mọ́mì Òtúnṣílé. For the news update. Is she in the house? Yes, no.
Princess? Maybe
Ma?
you should stand in for her if she's not here.
Okay, doc.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, this is the news update for the Yoruba Nation Global Directorate, 118. We welcome you to the 118th news update of the Yoruba Nation Global Directorate. The Yoruba Nation Global Directorate is calling on well-meaning Yoruba citizens to support with scholarships, trust, and finance the tertiary institutions in Yoruba nations. We respectfully enjoin the state government to strengthen education with scholarships in order to stem intellectual drain in Yoruba nation. The Yoruba Nation Global Directorate is making this call following decision and the policy of the United Kingdom government, which placed a ban on the families of scholars from Nigeria, following their families to the United Kingdom. The policy is being condemned worldwide as too many discriminatory and unreasonable given the contributions of foreigners to the development of the United Kingdom. The Yoruba Nation Global Directorate strongly believes that if the education at home is well funded, there will be no need for our talents being scattered all over the world in search of a golden fleece. It is also advised to ministries of education and heads of tertiary institutions to redesign the school curriculum in a manner that encourages entrepreneurial skills and development. We are also calling on governments in Yoruba Nation to address issues of bad roads, transportation, electricity, insecurity, health services, and welfare for the students. Moving on, the Yoruba Nation also wish the president-elect a successful inauguration ceremony, and we are calling on the president-elect to urgently address the issue of various ethnic nationalities seeking self-determination from Nigeria. The Yoruba Nation Global Directorate said the president-elect should urgently set up a commission to work out the modalities to effect the demands of the ethnic nationalities. It is by this singular act that the president-elect could satisfy the yearnings of the silent majority of Nigerians. That is our news update. Oh, do I agree? Wow, when it's there, oh, darling. Okay, my pay, but I very so getting there, you know, no cover. No, very so do most swim, and no come for the introduction of the panelists.
Àti ìṣe a kò lè gbàgbé. A kò lè gbàgbé.
Oh, I missed that. I omitted that. Ẹ má bínú. Ẹ bá wa ṣe.
A kò lè gbàgbé. Pípa àwọn ènìyàn wa lá. A kò lè gbàgbé. A kò lè gbàgbé ìfi Fúlàní Sẹ́ríkì joyè ní ìgbèríko wa. A kò lè gbàgbé. Ọgbọ́n àlùmọ̀kọ́rọ́ yìí láti gba ilẹ̀ ayébáyé wa. A kò lè gbàgbé. Ìgbìmọ̀pọ̀ Fúlàní láti múni sìn títí ayé láti sọ wá di ará nílùú bàbá wa. A kò lè gbàgbé. Ìgbìmọ̀pọ̀ Fúlàní láti sọ àwọn obìnrin wa di àkísà orí àtìtàn nílùú wa. A kò lè gbàgbé. Ìsọ Fúlàní di òmìrán tí ẹnikẹ́ni kò lè fọwọ́ kàn lábẹ́ òfin pẹ̀lú ìwà ọ̀bàyéjẹ́ tó wà lọ́wọ́ wọn. A kò lè gbàgbé. Ìwọlé bánijà lóru ọ̀gànjọ́. A kò lè gbàgbé. Ìgbìyànjú Fúlàní láti sọ ìlú wa di tiwọn àti láti gba ilẹ̀ ìbí wa pẹ̀lú àwọn ẹbí wọn láti orílẹ̀-èdè adúláwọ̀ Áfíríkà láti jẹ́ kí wọ́n lè máa gbé igbá orókè nínú ètò ìdìbò. A kò lè gbàgbé. Èròǹgbà àwọn Fúlàní láti fi owó ṣe ẹ̀tànjẹ fún àwọn ènìyàn wa láti gbàgbé ìpolongo fún àdádúró àwọn Yorùbá. A kò lè gbàgbé. Ìfimọ̀ṣe ọ̀kan àwọn Yorùbá láti ní orílẹ̀-èdè tiwa fún ìrandíran àwọn ọmọ wa. A kò lè gbàgbé. Àtìmọ́lé àwọn ènìyàn wa àìbìkítà ìjọba Fúlàní fún pípa àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá ní orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá. A kò lè gbàgbé. A kò ní gbàgbé. Ìpínlẹ̀ Yorùbá di ṣíṣe, ìwẹ̀yìnwò kò sí rárá. Yorùbá ẹ jí ẹ má sùn o, Oòduà gbè wá o, kò ní gbé àwọn ọ̀dàlẹ̀ á bálẹ̀ lọ. Ìkéde láti ẹnu Yorùbá Nation Global Directorate.
Okay, I share for that announcement. First, to do most of my introduction of panelists.
Yeah. Thank you, Princess. Àti dé ojú agbami fún ètò tòní. Àwọn tí wọ́n máa bá wa ṣe lénìí. Barrister ìjọ máa bá mi pinpoint wọn síta. Àwọn tí a máa pè lénìí. Ẹni àkọ́kọ́ ni àwọn ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n wa nípa ètò bí a ṣe ń báwo ni mo ṣe máa pè náà ní Yorùbá. Àwọn dókítà tí wọ́n máa ń wo àwọn tí wọ́n máa ń tí ìwà wọn tí ò fẹ́ bá ti àwọn èèyàn mu. Psychiatric doctors. So mo ní lórí ìwé ọwọ́ mi, mo ní àwọn bàbá wa Dr. Biyo Oyefúlẹ̀. Ẹ kú àbọ̀ sórí ètò náà sà. Ẹ kú ọjọ́ mẹ́ta.
Ẹ máa ṣe o Barrister, thank you. Ẹ ṣé gan ni. Nice to be back.
Yes sir. Lẹ́yìn wọn ni àwọn ìyàwó Mrs. Sandra Popoola. Mo dẹ̀ máa pa àwọn yẹn lẹ́jọ́ lénìí. Ìdí tí wọ́n fi gbé policy tí wọ́n ṣe tí wọ́n dẹ̀ fẹ́ káwọn akàwé wa kí wọ́n mú àwọn family wọn wá sílùú wọn, wọ́n máa ṣàlàyé fún wa. Àwọn la máa rán sí Sunak.
My lips are sealed.
Ẹni kẹta ni Mrs. Yẹmisí Fádáhùn sí Ògúnlànà, Ìyálóde. Ẹ kú àbọ̀ sórí ètò náà. Ẹni kẹrin ni àwọn brother wa Mr. Ọláwálé Onígẹmọ. Mr. Ọláwálé Onígẹmọ. So màá wá pe Princess. Mo fẹ́ fún yín ní microphone padà.
No, any call.
You have to invite the questioner.
Okay. Hold on.
Okay.
Any time for busy. I apologize. Okay, panelist ni arábìnrin Fúnmi Àkàndé.
Mo kí gbogbo wa tẹ̀sọ́ mo kí gbogbo wa pẹ̀lú ọ̀wọ̀ pé gan ni kú kalẹ̀ káàbọ̀ bóòlù ọ̀dẹ wa ọ̀dùn bí ó tọ́jọ́ mẹ́ta.
This is Akande.
Ṣé
Adjust the camera yín. Orí yín nìkan ló ń ṣò.
Dà kórì mi náà ṣò orí náà la kọ́kọ́ mú wáyé.
Ó ní tòótọ́ nìyẹn. Oúnjẹ la fi mẹ́ran láwo.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Ìtòrí sì tẹ́mi fi máa ń tètè mú ìtó tóbi jù.
Ẹ ṣé gan ni. Thanks for calling my attention to that. Ẹ má bínú sí mi. Ó tọ́jọ́ mẹ́ta. Ẹ mọ̀ téèyàn bá ti gbọ́lidé lọ náà. Téèyàn bá tún padà síbẹ̀ èèyàn máa ṣe ọ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan. Ẹ káàbọ̀. Ẹ̀yin ìyá mi, ẹ̀yin bàbá mi. Ó ti pẹ́ tí mo ti rójú yín. Bàbá mi Oyèfúnlẹ̀ káàbọ̀. Ẹ kú ọ̀rọ̀ èèyàn. A ò ní rírú ẹ̀ mọ́. Olúwadé foríjì wọn. Ó ké gan ni. Yes, sir. Màmá mi ó bí mo kí yín gan ni ẹ kú ọjọ́ mẹ́ta. Èmi ló ti pẹ́ tí mo ti rójú gbogbo wa. Ọ̀nkú mi onígẹmọ mo kí yín o. Fírìfìtì la máa sọ lẹ́nu torí wọn fi Yorùbá rẹ̀ ránṣẹ́ sí mi so òyìnbó la máa sọ vernacular la máa sọ lẹ́nu.
Vernacular ni ọ vernacular ló máa ṣẹlẹ̀ rẹpẹtẹ lẹ́nu.
Ló máa ṣẹlẹ̀ ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi tẹ́ wà lórí ìjókòó ẹ má bínú sí wa. Ẹ jẹ́ ká gba vernacular láàyè lẹ́nu bó tilẹ̀ jẹ́ pé kò kí ń ṣèdè wa wọ́n kọ́ wa by force by fire ni but a fi bù wọn pé a máa yọ sọ lẹ́nu ni so àwa tá bá wà ní chat room náà ẹ jẹ́ ká máa contribute one way or the other respectfully ní chat room gbogbo làákàyè ta ní ká gbé kalẹ̀ kí ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn kó lè yé gbogbo wa àti àwọn tí ó máa gbọ́ wa ní ilé àti lóko gbogbo àwa tá wà nílé àti lóko náà tí ẹ máa wo program ilé ní akíyín pé ẹ ṣé gan ni tí ẹ máa farabalẹ̀ láti gbọ́ wa lẹ́nu ẹ̀kú kalẹ̀ náà ọ̀rọ̀ náà a máa gbọ́ lágbọ́yé ìyálóde ẹ rọra níbi tẹ́ wà yẹn o mò ń kí mò ń wò yín mò ń ṣọ́ yín bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn tẹ́ ti gbọ́ Ọlọ́run ṣe kò sí kidnappers níbẹ̀ Elédùmarè àdẹ́wà pẹ̀lú ẹ ṣé gan ká bẹ̀rẹ̀ lórí ètò lẹ́ni Princess Ọlámìjùlọ mo kí yín ẹ kú kalẹ̀ ẹ kú ọjọ́ mẹ́ta every one of us tí àdẹ̀báwa ẹ bá wa pé àwọn èèyàn wọlé kan wá gbọ́ wa kí àwa náà dẹ̀ lè ṣàlàyé tiwa gbogbo wa ní àjọ wà nínú ìrìn àjò yìí papọ̀ kò dẹ̀ sí ẹni tó rìn rí gbogbo wa náà jọ rìn sa agbára wa láàyè so once again orúkọ tèmi ni Fúnmi adẹ̀fẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ètò torí pé ó ti pẹ́ tí mo ti rí bàbá mi Oyèfúnlẹ̀ àwọn máa jẹ́ kán kọ́kọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ètò léèdì pẹ̀lú ìbéèrè tí máa gbé kalẹ̀ ní lẹ́yìn òní tí máa interpret Yorùbá náà ó lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹ mọ̀ fọjọ́ tá a bá lè ṣakọ pẹ̀lú Yorùbá ká ṣakọ bíbí tiẹ̀ mọ́ mo máa prove láti mọ̀. First question goes this way. Why have some Yoruba citizens since before and after the Nigerian independence been agitating for Yoruba independence? That's the first question. Why? Why have some Yoruba citizens since before and after the Nigerian independence been agitating for Yoruba independence? Why? That's the question. Bàbá mi Oyèfúnlẹ̀ bá mi ṣí orí fọ́nrán ìpẹ̀lú ìdáhùn sí ìbéèrè.
Ẹ ṣeun àǹtí mi ṣé fún mi mo mọ̀ yín gẹ́gẹ́ bí orúkọ mi ò bẹ̀ fún mi mo rí ń bẹ̀ o.
Mi Àkàndé náà lẹ mọ̀ mí sí.
Kọ́ máa jẹ́ pé ẹ lo
mi ò tí ì já yín sílẹ̀.
Ìkan náà, okay, ẹ máa ṣe
orúkọ kan mi náà mo ṣì ń jẹ́.
Ẹ ṣé o.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a very important question, Tebere. But Mama, go back. Let's answer a question here. I have to go back into the 17th century. 17th century, no. Mo rò pé mo ti sọ lórí ìkànnì rí pé the first time tí àwọn Portuguese wá, well, not the first time, but subsequent times tán wá, tán wọ́n ti sail through the down the African coast into nǹkan tó máa pè ní slave coast, àwọn wèrè, down into the down around the around South Africa, wọ́n ti lọ sí East Africa. Around that time, one make a lot of inroad, especially in the Congos and some other places. Tán wá kọ summary of nǹkan tán rí. Wọ́n dey identify cultures mẹ́ta tó ní pé ẹgbẹ́ náà jẹ́ fún àwọn. In fact, wọ́n ti lè ju àwọn lọ in terms of organizational power. Wọ́n mú àwọn Ashanti in present-day Ghana. Wọ́n mú àwọn Buganda ní current-day Uganda. Wọ́n dẹ̀ mú Yoruba, not in any particular order, mo kàn fẹ́ pẹ̀lú Yoruba ni. Wọ́n mú Yoruba. And this my next statement is not an attempt at racism or anything, or me feel que tribe ni wá, so me lè lo tribalism, but sectionalism. Ìyẹn kọ́ ni my next statement. And that statement ni pé wọ́n mú Igbo, wọ́n mú Hausa, Fúlàní ò tí ì dé Nàìjíríà gbà yẹn, but wọ́n mú àwọn yẹn, ọ̀dọ̀ wa Yorùbá nìkan náà mú ní present day Nigeria, pé culture yìí is is at par with ours. In certain cases, wọ́n tún lè wà advanced jù wá lọ. Nǹkan tó sọ ń pa wá nìyẹn. Now, let's fast forward to 1914. Wọ́n ti ní pé kí n má sọ ọ̀rọ̀ burúkú lórí ìkànnì yìí. Bẹ́ẹ̀ mo kọ́ fẹ́ pè ní kò ní ṣàǹfààní, ṣùgbọ́n mi ní pè bẹ́ẹ̀ mọ́ nítorí pé a ti ní pé ká má pè. Ìyẹn ló jẹ́ pé Lord Lugard mo ń sọ yẹn. Tó yẹ pé for his own personal, selfish reason, àìlédè kan trade ni o, ó amalgamate North and South. Àwọn ìlú méjì tán, areas méjì tán were on the same level of development. Yoruba wà down south, southern Nigeria ní Yoruba wà. Wọ́n dẹ̀ mú an advanced set of people. Wọ́n mú wọn pọ̀ mọ́ àwọn tí wọ́n ń ṣe ẹgbẹ́ wọn. Ká sọ pé wọ́n kàn jẹ́ kí everything slide, wọ́n kó wọn pọ̀, wọ́n dẹ̀ jẹ́ may everybody go their own way in a confederacy or in a federal system rather. Àbá ní pé ìbàdà, ṣùgbọ́n nǹkan tó ń ṣe kọ́ nìyẹn. Wọ́n dangle federalism, wọ́n dangle lójú wa, wọ́n fi rù wá nímú, wọn ò fún wa. Fast forward 1914 into 1960, àgbà independence, a ní pé federal system ni wá. By 1963, the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Republic of Nigeria. Fast forward into 1966, at the unitary system. So wọ́n kó ẹran àgùntàn, adìyẹ àti ẹyẹlé, wọ́n kó gbogbo wọn pọ̀ sínú àgò kan náà. Kò ní sí ọ̀nà tí kò ní sí friction láàrin gbogbo àwọn èèyàn tí wọ́n wà related. Some of them advanced, as the Portuguese called us. Some of us, some of them were very barbaric. Again, me fẹ́ tún dárúkọ nǹkan àwọn tó ń jẹ Ọ̀yọ́ ṣì wà láàrin wọn ní Nàìjíríà yìí. How are you going to compare Yorùbá Aláàfin? How are you going to compare them to àwọn èèyàn tó kó wa pọ̀ mọ́? Tí mo dẹ̀ sọ Yorùbá Aláàfin, mo lò for one particular reason. Yoruba or Yo synonymous. Ṣùgbọ́n the rest of Yoruba land, similar culture, gbogbo wa ní. So mo sọ Ọ̀yọ́ Aláàfin, not to exclude the Ìjẹ̀bús or Ẹ̀gbá or the Ìjẹ̀ṣàs, no, because Yoruba culture, from my point of view, from the extensive study tí mo ṣe lórí Yoruba, kò sí yàtọ̀ láàrin Yoruba kankan rárá. A lè máa ṣeré pé àwa láti Gbọ̀ngán, àwa láti Gbọ̀ngán, àwa láti Ìjẹ̀bú, àwa láti Iléṣà. Eré ni, but we are one and the same. Because kò sí anywhere in Yoruba land tí kò sí Ifá. See, we all know that Ifa is one of the highest manifestation of the Supreme, not as a religion. That the religious part of it, I'm not interested, but from as a way of thinking, Ifa ló ṣe fún wa ní highest level. When they compare favorably pẹ̀lú other àwọn tó ń pera own religions yòókù. So how can an advanced people like us be stuck where we find ourselves? Ìdí ẹ̀ tí ìjàngbara ti ṣẹlẹ̀ as far back as we can remember nìyẹn. Olóòtú.
Ẹ ṣé gan-an. Mo dúpẹ́ fún Asai taking us back in time. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n pe màmá mi Obi. Okay, so nǹkan tó ṣe, sorry mami. Mi ṣe housekeeping kó tó pé di pé mo bẹ̀rẹ̀ ẹ jọ̀ọ́ gbogbo wa mo fẹ́ dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ wa pé a mute àwa tá a bá dẹ̀ ṣe ń wọlé náà ẹ jọ̀ọ́ òfin wa níbí báyìí ni ká máa mute ara wa ká má sọ̀rọ̀ tí mo bá ní ká sọ̀rọ̀ then torí pé a ti lo much time ká tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ ó dìgbà tí àwọn secretariat bá fún mi ní òfin mi otherwise than what I want to do today. So each question máa lọ́tẹ̀ fún two panelists can answer so we can beat the time. Ẹ má bínú sí wa gbogbo àwa tá ti jókòó tá bá wa bẹ̀rẹ̀ ní aago tá máa ń bẹ̀rẹ̀ kò kí ń rí bẹ́ẹ̀ ó rí bẹ́ẹ̀ lénìí nìyẹn. So mi ní fún àwọn ìyá mi àti bàbá mi láàyè láti dáhùn gbogbo question yẹn papọ̀. One question for two panelists láti dáhùn ẹ̀. Tá bá wá dé ìparí màá fún wa ní opportunity ẹ jẹ́ ká máa note àwọn questions yẹn. Tá bá fẹ́ fi èsì sí àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn lẹ́yìn ìgbà tá bá ti dé ìparí a lè wá ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wá fi sí. So ká try láti beat time yẹn. Ẹ ṣé gan ni. Mami, you be okay.
Ẹ ṣé gan ni. Thank you so much. And thank you, Dr. Oyefule. I can always rely on you to cover me up when I am shamefully unhistorian, if there is any such thing, because history is not my strongest. So I'm really glad that Dr. Oyefule had set it out very, very clearly. And Sister Fumi, thank you for giving us the opportunity, Latiso vernacular as well, if we wish to, which is quite great. So for me, why have some Yoruba citizens been agitating for Yoruba nation for so long? When they changed federalism system that we were practicing in 1963 to 1966 became unitary system. So the central government, the federal government, ó wá gba gbogbo agbára tó yẹ kí gbogbo wa ní ìlú tá wà. And now amass all that power to itself. And in amassing that power, it then suppressed the rights of every single nationality in that space called Nigeria. It then captured our resources. It then squandered our resources. It then started to exploit us as people. Invariably, it feels like it's the second set of slavery. And that in itself is the fundamental reason why Yoruba citizens and other nationalities within Nigeria, apart from àwọn tí wọ́n gàbálé wa lórí, nítorí nǹkan tó ń rí jẹ ń bẹ̀, Yoruba citizens are saying enough is enough. We want our freedom. And don't forget, pé àwọn tó ń gàbálé wa lórí kò ń ṣe ẹ̀yà kan o, nítorí nǹkan tó wà ń bẹ̀ ni pé wọ́n ti wá lo àwọn èèyàn wa láti gàbálé wa lórí as well. Wọ́n ti kọ́ wọn ní ìkọkúkọ̀, àwọn náà dẹ̀ ti gbàgbàkúgbà tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n wá ń lò ó wá become like class war as well. So wọ́n wá kóra wọn sí one class, àwa ètò kù wọ́n wá gbé wa sísàlẹ̀, wọ́n wá ń tẹ̀ wá mọ́lẹ̀. And Ọlọ́run tó dẹ̀ dá gbogbo wa pátápátá, ó dá wa lọ́kàn. Everybody has a right, a human right to exist, a human right to have freedom, a human right to express themselves the way God has created them. So no human being should be allowed to suppress other human beings, especially with the resources that God has given to each and every one of us. Madrumbe Eshigoni.
Eshigoni. You know, down no. So I'm happy for the foundation tí Dr. Oyefole àti Mama mi Obi tán fi lélẹ̀ fún ìdáhùn sí ìbéèrè àkọ́kọ́ yẹn. So foundation yẹn, mo hope pé gbogbo wa náà la máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí build on it. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ àwa tá wà ní ìjókòó, ẹ jẹ́ káwa náà máa fohùn wá sílẹ̀ nínú chat room. Let's interact and respond to each other accordingly. So each question ló ní tough answers to give, and mo rí pé gbogbo wa náà la fi bó ṣe bí question yẹn ṣe wà sensitive náà la fi làákàyè down àwọn questions torí kí ni ṣe mọ̀ pé ọgbọ́n yìí Ọlọ́run ò dá dọ́gbadọ́gba. Àwọn kan wà tán bá view program wa, they have different interpretation, and wọ́n dẹ̀ máa ń sọ kinní kan ní Yorùbá pé ìpàkọ́ ò gbọ́ ṣúùtì, bó tilẹ̀ jẹ́ pé àwọn míì fẹ́ gbọ́ àwọn míì ò fẹ́ gbọ́. Bá a dẹ̀ ṣe ń dáhùn ẹ̀ ò dáa, sensitivity ẹ̀ náà ló máa fún wa ní the right answer to each question, no matter how difficult or sensitive the question may be. Mo rí pé gbogbo wa náà là ń dáhùn. So ìyá mi, Ìyálóde, the next question yìí náà gbogbo ẹ̀ ló ní sensitivity ẹ̀, and I trust all of us that I'm gonna answer accordingly. Why has it been difficult for Yoruba Nation and others to leave Nigeria? Why has it been difficult for other nations and Yoruba Nation to leave Nigeria? Ìyálóde, ẹ lè bá mi dáhùn ìbéèrè.
I would say two reasons, my own opinion. First of all, those politicians that are really embezzling the money, they don't want to leave, because if they leave, they know that they will not be getting if we leave, they're not going to be getting the national cake like they're having it. And the second reason might probably be because of the population, and because we are being deceived that Nigeria is a giant of Africa. Whereas when we look at those small people in other nations, they're doing better than us. So when people say we are giant, personally, I don't believe we are giant. I think we are midget. Because what is the point of being a giant and not behaving like one? It's just like if you say you are a king and your castle is destroying in your eyes. There is nothing moving on. Yoruba said, "Eku okebi eku, eye okebi eye," and you still being proud that I'm a king. What kind of a king? That is what Ekiti said, Ashes king. King that doesn't have any say in his kingdom. So I think because there people are saying, oh, we are giant of Africa. And some people are saying, no, the population, who does that population helps? It doesn't help us. So that's why, personally, that's my own opinion about it. So I will stop for now.
Drive. So you will have said more than that, but then you were being cautious. Máa bọ́ sí ìbéèrè kẹta ń sìn. No, bàbá mi ò ní gẹ̀mọ́ ya ẹ̀yin náà dáhùn ẹgbọ́n sókè.
Ẹ ṣé olóòtú. So èmi máa go back in reference to bàbá mi Dr. Yefule àti mọ́mì Mrs. Sandra Popola back in history a little bit. So into mo fẹ́ relate nínú history ni the fact that what the main influence is the I would say external influence, because taba wo ìgbà tí Nigeria máa gba independent, àwọn wo ló determine kò ń ṣe indigenous people or the people or the citizens of Nigeria ló determine British máa gbé government control of government fún, kò ń ṣe àwa, kò ń ṣe àwọn bàbá wa. This was a determination from the external people, àwọn colonialism, àwọn colonial masters were there. And why was it determined? Bí Dr. Yefule ṣe sọ, they know that tí wọ́n bá gbé ìjọba fún Yoruba people are too smart, too brilliant. All the ìjẹkújẹ táwọn máa jẹ wọn kò ní ṣẹlẹ̀. So, and láti bẹ̀yẹn gangan wọ́n ní kí ló ti ń pè òwe yẹn kò, I can't bring it up right now. Ẹ má bínú. Láti ibẹ̀ yẹn gangan lẹ́rù wá ti wọ́. Mo fi pé bóyá ẹ máa grab òwe tí mo fẹ́ sọ tí ò jáde yẹn. And
àmúkùn ẹrù ẹ wọ́, ó ní ẹrù láti sàlẹ̀.
Ẹ ṣeun sà, mo dúpẹ́. So ibẹ̀ yẹn ni problem wá ti wà, and that problem has not been a problem tí I were in a good position to solve up until now. So that's the main difficulty fún wa. Ẹ ṣé olóòtú.
Ẹ ṣé gan ni bọ̀dá mi Olúgbẹ̀wọ̀n, ẹ try gan ni. Gbogbo àwa tá a wà lórí panel, mo máa gbà wá níyànjú ká jọ ká máa ran ara wa lọ́wọ́. Bí òwe yẹn ṣe sá lọ, àti màmá ó bí o, mo include yín, gbogbo òwe yẹn ẹ jẹ́ ká máa dig it out, ká má fi bàbá mi Onígẹmọ sílẹ̀. Thank you, Dr. Yefule, for helping him out. Ẹ jẹ́ kí a bọ́ sí the next question. Ó yá wa bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo bá ṣe ń dáhùn àwọn ìbéèrè torí ó dà ń pa máa wà on point lẹ́nu. Next question goes this way. What did Nigeria Constitution say about self-determination? Mama mi will be abala yín. What did Nigeria Constitution say about self-determination?
Yes, Shegoni. As far as I know, I think it's muted. The Constitution does not allow self-determination. It's completely shut down, not mentioned, not referred to, don't really care about it. And the reason being, they know the 4 people or so that wrote that Constitution would have known that one day, people would speak up wanting it, and therefore they decided to take it out of that, which is very bizarre, which is the reason why I think they're very conniving, those people, those individuals, and they should be ashamed of themselves. However old they are, because our Yoruba respect our àgbàlagbà. Ṣùgbọ́n ńgbà tó bá di pé àgbàlagbà ó fẹ́ pa ìran àwọn àgbàlagbà kan, wọn ń ṣàgbàlagbà mọ́. They should be called out, and they should be mentioned, and they should be told about the errors of their ways, which they did intentionally. We know that they did that intentionally. And we would say to them, posterity will remember them. Will definitely remember them. History will remember them. Our generation unborn will remember the pain that they have caused us and continue to cause us. Eshegoni.
Eshegoni, Yani Obi. Question here, I could see from the chat room, everybody is now holding for their alma mater of Yoruba Nation. Yeah, we need to sit up, speak up. Thank you, Ambassador Tokunbo Mutupalo Infonkotekon. Baba mi Oyefule, Dr. Bami fi ohun see.
Yeah, ẹ ṣé olóòtú. Mo máa follow nǹkan tí Madam Popoola sọ. One, for one reason. Nǹkan tó mention yẹn mo ti gbọ́ ńbẹ̀ kan rí. So I'm just going to follow because I heard it before. I'm going to follow what she said. Àti ní pé èmi gan mi wà well versed in the Constitution. So I'm going to read this Constitution láti wo nǹkan tó sọ nípa self-determination. But unfortunately, I don't know enough to say anything about it now. Olotu.
Since we are coming to an end to answer those questions, even though Moma Flower, you know, our questions is meant for every one of us. At one point in time, if you want to reference to that towards the end of the program, we can still recall the question and offer answer in me. So our next question goes to Baba Menigemo Eleva starting here. What did ECOWAS laws, African Charter, and United Nations charters provisions for self-determination?
I think the status or some of the conditions have to do with self-sufficiency, autonomy, and the self-governance, the ability to govern self. Emma Bino, I'm not in, I am very, very, very dumb, but in terms of politics and governmental theories. But I would think those three factors you mentioned will relate to that. Esholotu.
Eshegoni. Yalode, are you ready?
Sorry about that. To be honest, I don't know the policy for ECOWA and all that. I'm not sure. So I don't want to start going up and down about it. I don't know the law, but I believe that the law is actually very different from, the policy is very different from our own Nigeria. I think they believe in self-determination. And I don't see anything bad in that because other countries has already done it and they were successful. Even some are through war, so which is not very nice, but some are through negotiation on the round table. It might take long, but like the Yoruba they said, there will be much noise, but a pig will reach its destination. So as we're doing it now, we don't know how long it's going to take us, but I believe that one day we will be there. So being the word, those three groups together, the word, like a word organization that determines what is right and what is not right, like the human rights and all that. So I have something that I think they will believe in it, but they cannot support any country, most especially like Nigerian country, because they too, they are embezzling our money. They are eating from our sweat. So it's not easy for them to say, oh, separate. Let Yoruba go on their own way. Let Hausa go on their own way. So because of their own selfish end, they just put their hand up and they were looking at what is happening, probably praying that it shouldn't be, it will not happen. But we know it's going to happen. So to be honest, the law, I don't understand. I haven't read it.
Ẹ ṣé gan ni Ìyálóde. Question yẹn, ẹ mọ̀, àwa tá a wà ní ìkànnì yìí, most of us náà láti dàgbà, máa encourage wa ká láti listen sí àwọn orin tí àwọn ọmọ ìsìn náà ń kọ. Àwọn míì wọ́n fi ọpọlọ wọn fi ń kọ orin yẹn. Delivery wọn lè wrong, but olórin kan sọ ọgbọ́n àgbọ́njù ló ń pa ọlọ́gbọ́n. Mi ò lè sọ pé mo gbọ́n jù. So nígbà tí question yẹn ò yé èmi náà, mo béèrè lọ́wọ́ àwọn tó ní làákàyè jù mí lọ. Wọ́n dẹ̀ ṣàlàyé fún mi pé ó túmọ̀ yìí pé is there a provision for self-determination in those organizations? Èmi ni ṣe African Charter, ECOWAS, United Nations Charters. Is there a provision for self-determination? The question yẹn sọ kò yé èmi náà ṣùgbọ́n mo béèrè. So a máa padà wá sí orí question yẹn later on if there's anybody that has another opinion or a right answer for that question. So torí pé mo ti kúrò lórí question yẹn, a máa deal pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ later. Ìyálóde, ẹ má bínú, ṣe pé mo ti sọ fún yín pé àwọn questions yẹn, èmi gan ó dojú àwọn ọlọ́gbọ́n gbogbo àtàwà lórí ìjókòó dè lá ní làákàyè. So thank you for your, yes, sir.
Teba allow me, Teba, there is an excerpt from African Charter, Timole, I can read it out. Boya, Oma, help what
explain better. Okay.
Exactly. Lati, to get a little information about that.
Okay, ṣé ó sọ̀rọ̀ nípa provision tó ní fún self-determination?
Yes.
Okay, so let's hear you out.
Really quickly, mole stammer, no, Emma Bino. Only in 1981, after nearly 3 years of drafting and deliberations, the Assembly of Head of States and Government of the Organization of African Unity at its 18th sessions adopted a regional human rights instrument, the African Charter on Human and People's Rights. Recent documentation indicate that an adequate number of ratifications have been received to bring the charter into force. There has so far, however, not been any test of its provision. Nevertheless, this article will be devoted to a legal examination and in other ways to a speculative analysis of an aspect of one of the human and or people's rights sought to be guaranteed in the charter, the right to political self-determination. This, of course, means that the very narrow scope of this paper will hardly touch on the economic aspects of self-determination, which is also provided for the charter. It goes on and on. I don't know if I have the time to, to continue, but I just want to read that part. Ẹ
ṣé gan ni, ó dá tẹ̀dẹ̀ ká síta, nǹkan tó jọmọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ ti wà tí mo rí dìmú nínú ẹ̀ ni pé the law or whatever it is will be subjected to legal analysis. Mi ò gbóyìnbó, fi àmọ̀ pé mo sọ pé mi ò gbóyìnbó, mi ò dẹ̀ tiẹ̀ lọ school gan. Kékeré tí mo kà náà ni mo rọra manage fún gbogbo ẹ̀. So mo rí yẹn mú jáde pé legal analysis pé àwọn tó ní ọgbọ́n láti lè deal pẹ̀lú ẹ̀, they are supposed to come up. But ṣé wọ́n fún wa ní opportunity yẹn? Ẹ jẹ́ ká continue. But thank you for reading that out. And Tebani link Sikini, you can always post it to the chat room because I would love to have a read. Ejeka continue. Next question. Thank you, Yalode and Baba Munigemo for dealing with that question, especially. Dr. Yefule, you're next in line. Are you ready for me? Okay. So what did what did Montevideo Convention? What did Montevideo Convention of 1933 say about self-determination? If I pronounce it that, he said the young.
I think you're putting a square peg in a round hole. Auntie me, Sandra, nipe àwọn ò ṣe history. Èmi náà bímọ political science. Mo ṣe one semester in college in 1973. One semester new, so I'm not well versed in that convention at all. One of the people boring because, but I can't comment intelligently on it. So Olotu, Odawo you.
And Tico was a while with vernacular lady. Don't worry. Oh yeah, you'll be and you let one did you say
Mama be you look
Ọlọ́run á jẹ́ kí ire kan gbogbo wa.
Àmín.
So eléyìí nǹkan tí èmi rí pé Montevideo Convention yẹn by and large nǹkan tó ń try láti ṣe ni pé to explain what self-determination is about and to give people the clarity that is needed. Everyone is allowed to ask for self-determination, even political self-determination. You have the right to rule yourself, to govern yourself. You have the right to ask for your own national sovereignty, your territorial integrity. All of this are fundamental human rights that everybody has. That's essentially what that convention was trying to get at. And Tabawo, a very question African Charter, ECOWAS, UN Charter, show on the right to self-determination. The simple answer is yes. They all do. For example, Articles 3, 4, 7 of the UN Charter 2007 give the rights for indigenous people, to ask for self-determination. And Nigeria is a signatory state to this. So Nigeria already knows that, I want to sign Kini, but I want to believe in Inwe. Article 20 of African Charter, the same thing, on human rights and people's rights, gives people the authority to ask for self-determination if they wish to. The problem to happen with the convention, it doesn't tell us how. There is the what, and this is something that we should all bear in mind, that is very critical and important. Whether it's any law, put down new or any policy new, when you say the what, you must also say how. How do you think we can achieve this? Because that would be the roadmap. What that convention didn't go into detail about, from what I've read, is it didn't say how we can get self-determination. Is it through independence? Is it through federation? Is it through protection? And that is protection of land, resources, property, people, and it could be some form of autonomy. What does that look like? Or is it a full assimilation of self-determination? Everything that you can think of, just chuck it at it, and then you've got your self-determination. It didn't go into how. So this is the how that we, as Yoruba people, should try and demystify ourselves. what do they call it? Whatever that means. Like, you look into it in detail and say, our self-determination, what is it that we want? And how are we going to get there? So I think that helps to just give just an overview, not in detail, of what I believe that convention was talking about. Eshe.
Eshe gan ni màmá mi Obi, àwọn táwọn lórí ìjókòó ẹ̀kú jókòó, Eshe gan ni, ẹ jẹ́ ká continue láti máa interact nínú chat room. And mo fẹ́ pe àkíyèsí wa sí nǹkan kan tó play out nínú meeting tá à ń ṣe lénìí. We are setting an example out there. Everybody ló fẹ́ wà níwájú pé a ṣe Yorùbá nation, and we all cannot be leaders. Here's what I've played out here, and I just want you guys to understand what I'm trying to do here. Ẹni tó bá mọ nǹkan ṣe, ẹ jẹ́ ká jẹ́ kó ṣe. Ẹni tó mọ̀rọ̀ sọ, ẹ jẹ́ ká jẹ́ kó ṣe. And Dr. Efule played a big role this morning. And well, more time to Washa. He said something. He's not a professional in that area, and he passed the baton to somebody that can really break it down to us, which she did a good job. And Yalode, when you call her to do a good job to the right question, we see how she fires in answering those questions. And that is what every one of us has. We have all displayed this, whichever time. So kudos to every one of us in the panel. Tí ẹ dẹ̀ ń dish out fún àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá, ọ̀nà yẹn Ọlọ́run á là fún wa, à lè rìn gàràgàrà. Dr. Efule, thank you for doing that. Even though I know you know it, but you passed on the baton to her because you want her to deal with it. And I'm happy she did very well. Bó ṣe máa rí nìyẹn, bó ṣe yẹ kó rí nìyẹn nínú Yorùbá nation yìí, ẹni tó bá mọ̀ ṣe, ẹ jẹ́ ká jẹ́ kán ṣe, ká dẹ̀ kí wọn lẹ́yìn, ìṣe ká kù wọn down. Ètí ò bá dẹ̀ ṣe dáadáa náà, àá yọ àfihàn pẹ̀lú ìrẹ̀lẹ̀ àti respect. Next question. Very good, Dr. Efule. Ẹ jẹ́ kó fast, ẹ kàn push ẹ̀ ṣá. Yalode, which of these provisions fits into the description of a nation, Nigeria or Yoruba nation? These are tough questions. Which of these provisions fit into the description of a nation, Nigeria or Yoruba nation? Tema take a cue from what Yaobi saw. That will help you to answer that question. I would love you to think about that question very well and answer it. Which of these provisions fit into the description of a nation, Nigeria or Yoruba nation?
To be honest, I don't understand that, but if I do a guesswork, I will say Yoruba nation. I don't really understand it at all. You can pass it on, please.
Oh yeah, Baba mi only get one to say you. At the end of the day, sorry, Keto Soro, I will have to push that question to Mama mi Obi for her to do justice, because you've just spoken on it. And which of that provision fits into the description of a nation? Is it Nigeria or Yoruba nation?
Before I go into that, I actually want to give kudos and recommendation and a suggestion, which is to Obi, my mommy Sandra Kukwala. For the book, to the baristas, maybe I will be the first to choose Obi as one of tell them about Yoruba nation, but it come to fruition. You will be one of the key members of the driver of the new nation, Lagbara Edumare, because of your knowledge and your in-depth, governmental practices. Question is, I think Yoruba nation.
Okay. Simple and short. Fún àwa tí a máa gbọ́ program yìí lẹ́yìn program tá à ń ṣe lénìí, mo fẹ́ clarify nǹkan. Bàbá mi Onígẹmọ kò ń ṣe pé wọ́n wá bíbá láti wá pick anybody pé yes, tá a bá ti gba Yorùbá nation, ìyá òbí will be this, will be that. Directorate is not all about that. Okay? Wá láti wá pick anybody pé ẹni tó máa jẹ Adélé ni àbí ṣé Adélé náà bàbá Odílé. And to my daily, láti wá pick anybody. It's just a kudos to her giving her the accolade that she did answer the question properly. It's not a form of picking anybody for any position in the future. So mo hope yẹn ó wà bí mo ṣe answer yẹn bí mo ṣe dáhùn yẹn ṣó wà okay fún gbogbo wa. Program later on. That's why I'm trying to clarify it. Baba Onigemo did not come here, or was he representing directorate to pick anybody for a future position? Baba Onigemo, you will talk later. Let's just that way. I'm sorry for not allowing you to explain yourself. Next question goes to pushing. I want to push it, Mama Obi. Mama Obi, do you want to answer that question? Do you want to say any other thing on which of these provision fits into the description of nation, Nigeria or Yoruba nation?
Shegoni, and I want mo fẹ́ kí yín lẹ́yìn fún nǹkan tẹ́ sọ yẹn pé bọ̀dá mi Onígẹmọ, thank you very much, but no thank you, because gbogbo alájọ máa ṣe. Every single one of us has a part to play. We all have our strengths, we all have our knowledge, we all have our expertise. So nobody is going to be left behind. Nǹkan tó wà bẹ́ẹ̀ ni pé tí ó bá jẹ́ pé Nàìjíríà jẹ́ nation ní lóòótọ́, I mean, tá bá describe kí ni nation. Nation is where people feel affiliated to the nation itself. Pé wọ́n lè sọ pé, okay, for example, Tomawaking or describe you're British, what does it mean? What Nigerians, what does it mean to be a Nigerian? Describe describe. Yoruba describe Yoruba. Igbo describe Igbo. Hausa describe Hausa. Fulani describe Fulani, and so many other ethnic minorities to one or ethnic groups to one in Nigeria. So Nigeria is not a nation as such. It's just like putting a group of people together and then say, just get on with it. There is no nation building. There is no such thing as nation building. There is no such thing as one vision, one mission for Nigeria. What we have are groups of people having their own visions. So Yoruba nation is the thing, is the nation, as you would have for other people as well, that they would clamor for their own. So I can only clamor for mine, which is Yoruba nation. We know what we are, we know who we are, we know what we stand for. We know our values, we know our mission, we know our culture, we know all of it. There's nothing called Nigerian culture. Let's be honest with each other. There's nothing called Nigerian culture. So what are we talking about? We're not nation, we're just a group of people. I happen to be in this, we're not even in the same space. Describe it. We're not even in the same space. The space that people are occupying in Yoruba land is because we've allowed them to occupy that land for the time being. It does not belong to them. It's not their space. Eshegoni.
Eshegoni, Mama Yubi. Dr. Yefule, I would like you to have a say on that same question. The first opportunity to so down question. You're ready.
Yeah, be Madam Popola so, and she made a very good point. A nation is a space, Tony geographical space here. So then culture to similar. So then shared history. So then shared aspiration for the future. So then shared vision for the future. Igbo nation is a nation. One objective, which is driven by their inner characteristics that's peculiar to them. Ditto the Fulanis. Granted, Fulani is a newest arrival in Nigeria. On the far end of the spectrum are the Yorubas. There's a Yoruba nation which has been in existence prior to 1960, prior to 1914, prior to the annexation of Lagos in 1861, had been in existence as far back as anybody can remember. So that nation, only Omoluabi as its core, Taban saw mission vision, Omoluabi vision, Omomi, Mato Wadi Omoluabi. Vision of a parent to the child in the end. So Yoruba is a nation. Now, is Nigeria an amalgamation of trade units put together by the Britishers? Is it a nation? Omashoro, probably 1,000 years from now, Tobashiwa in existence, it may become a nation. It may. But let's become a nation. Let's look at Europe. Ìgbà tí àwọn Romans tó colonize Europe, wọ́n fún wọn mission, vision, and language. Gbogbo àwọn Romance languages here, Pig Latin, ni wọ́n bí Pidgin English, yẹ Pig English. So, Portuguese tó ń sọ lẹ́ni, Spanish tó ń sọ lẹ́ni, French gan tó ń sọ, Romanian, gbogbo Romance languages ni wọ́n based on Latin. Oh, they take many years to develop and become nation states. Yoruba to achieve here were a nation. As Nigeria achieved it, no. Will Nigeria achieve it if it stays together for the next 1,000 years? Most likely it might. It might. Tabawo antecedent of other people in other parts of the world, mostly in Europe. Yes, maybe it may be, but right now it's not. Nigeria actually is not a nation. It is a country, an amalgamation of different nations. So Yoruba is a nation. Olotu.
Lára wa tá a ṣe wà nínú panel, ṣé a ní anybody tó ṣì fẹ́ fi òun sí question into boss the next question? Gbogbo àná la máa dáhùn nílé because ó wà loaded and it's an opportunity for us láti veer out opinion wa, suggestion, whatever we have in mind, because question here is like building on foundation of previous questions. So tá bá ní anybody tó ṣì fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ lórí tí as certain castle. If not, I'll go to the next question. Dr. Oyefule, you'll be the first person to answer that question. What aside, wishing a Yoruba man who is now going to be the Nigerian president well, what aside that are the Yoruba nation self-determination activists legitimate expectations from the new Nigerian administration?
Thank you. Kí ni aspiration wa, kí ni expectation wa?
Expectation, yeah.
Well, As is up, Nigeria is not a nation yet. I don't know country ni. Ó máa ṣòro láti predict nǹkan tó máa ṣẹlẹ̀. But mo mọ̀ kíní kan, and I'm not speaking for him. I've not spoken to him directly since 2015, which is 8 years ago. That was at a dinner to organize, and but I say chummy friend me by since 1998. So the man I knew in 1998 and the man to be Basoro for a 7-hour period during the dinner conference in 2015. Will this man help us achieve a Yoruba nation? Loaded question, please stop me.
What is the legitimate expectations?
Very good.
Of Yoruba
Very good.
Self-determination. Very
good. Well, within the context of the new government, so what I come path here. My knowledge of this gentleman, Nipe, is the greatest strategist, first of all, to geographical expression, Nigeria. Well, if not, maybe better suppose the greatest, but it's one of the greatest strategists, political strategists. Sheo Mashetiwa for Yoruba nation. Mama praise your Lord Koba Ashe without harming himself. Oh, I pray that he finds a way from the little knowledge I have about him. Koba Ashe in a way, Tiko Niwa detrimental to his own health or to his own life. In a way, Tiko Niwa detrimental to his own health and to his own life. Because I want Tonwa against Wakpo. Mr. Onigemo Solenko about 10 minutes ago, but he did not expatiate very well, very much into it. Boya into the time. Fulani ni koko ni long wasi now. Esha rántí pé wọ́n kó slaves out of us, the Europeans. The Europeans took us as slaves to be sold for 10 pounds, 20 pounds, 100 pounds. Ìgbà tó ń pè slavery ò pé wọn mọ́. Wọ́n ní Berlin Conference 1884 to 85. Wọ́n pè wá sí colonies. We became colonies to them. And the only one reason, one purpose in colony, can extract from us gbogbo mùdùmùdù ilẹ̀ wa kan kó lọ sọ́dọ̀ wọn. Wọ́n ní ìlú wa ò dá, Èkó ò dá, Ìbàdàn ò dá, Ìjẹ̀bú ò dá, London dá, Paris dá, Berlin dá. Ibo ní Berlin àti London àti Paris, bọ́nà ti rí gbogbo owó tó fi kọ́ ilé wọn ní London. Look at the fuel. Where did the money come from? Ṣé òyìnbó ń ṣiṣẹ́ jù wá lọ ni? Granted, recently, within the past 200 years, one better structure than we do. There's no doubt about that. Ṣé wọ́n ṣiṣẹ́ jù wá lọ ni tí ilé London máa fi dá, títí Èkó ò fi dá ni? Ó ti gbogbo mùdùmùdù Èkó ló wà lọ́hùn. Of all gbogbo Nigeria, gbogbo Africa ló wà náà ti kó lọ sí Europe. So ìgbà tó tí colonization ò pé wọn mọ́, ṣẹ̀wọ́n rántí pé slavery ò pé wọ́n go into colony. Ìgbà tí colonization ò pé wọn mọ́, tí àwọn Azikiwe, àwọn Awólọ́wọ̀ àǹkó Nkrumah ń pariwo independence, independence, independence. Wọ́n ní kò ṣe independence a máa fún yín. But wọ́n ní ọ̀nà kọ́rọ́ yìí, wọ́n fún wa ní neocolonialism. Neocolonialism yẹn là ń deal pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ títí dọ̀la. So ó pé wọn kí Nàìjíríà kó wà bó ti wà yìí, kó má rojú, kó má ráyè. Ó pé wọn. One side statement, àwọn kan ní pé kíní kan wà tó ń pè ní Californium, tó ní pé for announce millions of dollars náà ń tà. Ó dẹ̀ wà ń lo àwọn òmò, àwọn mọ̀ wọ́n fẹ́ wá kó lọ. Neocolonialism nìyẹn. The best way láti kó lọ is not to educate us, but to make us ignorant. A ní PhD, bẹ̀ wọ́n ní fún wa ní real mùdùmùdù inú knowledge yẹn, a kò gba PhD ni. So neocolonialism is a factor tí yàn gbọ́dọ̀ look into. Kọ́ máa pa Tinubu títí ó máa bá lè ṣe nǹkan tó máa fún wa ní, kó mú wa lọ sí ibi ilẹ̀ ìlérí wa. Àádẹ́ débẹ̀ lágbára Ọlọ́run, lágbára Èdùmàrè. Olóòtú.
Ẹ ṣé gan ni Dr. Oyefule. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n fún Ìyálóde ní opportunity káwọn náà lè build lórí nǹkan tẹ́ ti sọ. Ìyálóde.
Ẹ jọ̀ọ́, repeat question yẹn.
What? Okay, which of the provision? Yeah. What aside wishing a Yoruba? Okay, question náà kàn try láti sọ pé kí ni expectation, kí ni legitimate expectations of àwọn ìran Yorùbá nípa self-determination pẹ̀lú new administration Nigeria tí ó máa wọlé very soon, tó máa bẹ̀rẹ̀. Kí ni expectations àwa? Legitimate expectations.
Okay. When the campaign was going on, some people are saying, oh, when Milokan comes in power, it's going to take us to our promised land. It's going to do the bidding, like a Yoruba bidding. But if I have to voice my own opinion, I don't think so. Some people think genuinely that he will do our bidding, but some people knows that he's not going to do it, except if God put it in his mind. But if we are to talk about the corruption that is going on in the country, the way they are embezzling the money, no politician will get there and want to separate Nigeria. They're not interested in that, because they want to be more, go on richer and the poor people getting poorer. So our expectation, I mean, some people's expectation is when he gets there, then he will divide the country. I pray so. I pray that he does it. But in my own opinion, I don't think he will do it. Expectation, yes, it's good for us to be expecting something good and be positive, not negative. But there's some few things that you can, when you want to put 2 and 2, you find it difficult to make 4. So our expectation is for him to do a bidding to do as our own, like what Buhari did. Buhari look after his own people. His people, his children are killing other tribe. He pretended like he's deaf and dumb. So this is our own. We expect him to do good thing for us, but it's up to him if he wants to do it history will remember him. And if he decided not to let us continue in that suffering, God will come to our aid. Thank you.
Ẹ ṣé gan ni Ìyálóde. Bàbá mi onígẹmọ. Ẹ ò mute ara yín.
I have to answer to a boss, which is my wife. So okay, before I go into this, mo fẹ́ make a clarification which is what I did, which regarding what I said earlier. Mi ò sọ pé one person will be will drive that nation, will be sole driver. More suggest one of. And the reason Timothy suggest her as one of ni pé bẹ́yìn náà ṣe sọ earlier, nígbà tẹ́ bèrè question that has to do with politics or governmental skills or something of that sort. Lọ́wọ́ Dr. Yefule, what did he do? And this I think is the best way to my help is the fact that you as a person will recognize the fact that I am not really good at this. In other words, if I'm not good at this, in the interest of a nation or a group of people, I will pass the baton to someone that can do it. I will look at myself as one that will never take any governmental position. I don't care what it is because I'm not good at it. But I can be one of the people that will choose someone that will know is good. Or that be a story Kotimoso about 3 or 4 Saturdays ago. Nibati, the new Ghanaian president, Tope Ore, who is still my medical doctor, Mbibai, Tope Kweko serve in the cabinet on what function or what position would you like? Doctor Mesofun finance, President you are not good. What do you know about finance? You are a medical. So and Timon Chala to Sonipe, we should always, and this should go to everybody. I don't know how to do these things. There is no shame in me saying I don't know how to do these things, but I can pick someone who knows. So as your lot, but I'm going to now I will go to the question, Teberi, Nipa expectations. Now, one you get only dagboshe, okay, and also for someone like us, Tawanita diaspora in the Western world, I, for one, they are one to call in the United States. Even though as a call is a president, that doesn't mean that person has the full control of the government on decision making. And politically, Tabawo history, especially in the Western world, there are other external factors, other people that must interest groups. And these interest groups, what do? They invest all their resources to make sure one particular political leader no win election, whether it's free or fair. They do whatever it takes. Now the question is, do we think that the incoming president get there on his own. On his own, I mean, campaign and everything that he has to do to get there. Emil, I for one, I think not. So into and the sọ fún àwọn ará tèmi Yoruba and so on and so forth. Don't think that this guy is going to get there and think solely about Yoruba people, because he has to cater to all the other internal and external factors, the interest groups, and all the other people that he will pick in his cabinet. So expectations towards Yoruba nation right now regarding this new government is very remote. I mean, I can't put my hand on it. Esheolotu.
Mr. Onigemo, thanks for that answer. Mama Sandra Obi, have you answered? Chat it down, see very. Okay, I like get down showcase.
Oh, shocking, Nisha. Oh, wow.
Okay, I'm going to
I'll try.
Any suru, Emma bínú sí mi. Mo fẹ́ sáré sọ nǹkan kan ní ibi ìgbà kó tó di pé a continue. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ gbogbo àti ní access sí link YouTube program tá ń ṣe lọ́wọ́. Ẹ bá wa share káàkiri kí àwọn èèyàn wa náà lè ní àǹfààní láti gbọ́ àwọn èèyàn wa yé. Gbogbo bọ́n ṣe ń ṣàlàyé tán dẹ̀ fi làákàyè yé wa ó dáa. Àwọn tó wà lóko àti àwọn tó wà nílé kán gbọ́ nǹkan tí à ń sọ. So ẹ bá mi share fún àwọn ará oko náà àtàwọn onílé, ẹ jẹ́ ká share káàkiri kí wọ́n lè ní àǹfààní láti lè máa tẹ̀lé program yìí lóòrèkóòrè. Yẹ mọ̀ pé
You're muted.
Gbogbo every Saturday la máa ní program yìí, so ó dẹ̀ dá kán máa ní àǹfààní láti lè mọ̀ pé nǹkan tá à ń sọ tá à ń pariwo ní ilé. So ẹ máa bá mi share káàkiri bó tilẹ̀ jẹ́ pé àwa ò kì í ṣe ṣẹ́ṣẹ́ṣẹ́ like love. Ṣùgbọ́n eléyìí ó ṣe pàtàkì ká share ojú. Ẹ ṣé gan. Mama mi Obi, sorry for interrupting your interjecting. You can go ahead.
That's fine. Ṣé rí nǹkan tó wà ńbẹ̀ ni pé boy kan wà tí wọ́n máa ń lò as jokes now for everybody. Pé pressure ti pọ̀. There's huge amount of pressure on that man. And that pressure, regardless of ẹ̀ tó bá wà ńbẹ̀, pressure yẹn máa wà. Because it's a build-up for many, many years, over 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, you just keep counting backwards. Pressure yẹn wà. And I'm sure, I've never met him, I don't know him, I have nothing to do with him. I can only go by what Dr. Oyefule saw earlier on. That is one of the greatest political strategists and that I've heard as well, Tawon Yonso, in Nigeria. And therefore, that in itself would show me with pressure, and he would know how to handle it. I hope he does, because no doubt he's been building up his own knowledge and expertise in this area for so long. He probably has a blueprint already. So our expectation, the legitimate expectation that Yoruba nation will have for him is the freedom of expression, to allow us to have the freedom of expression of our opinion, our views, and our wish list. The freedom to give us that space to be able to meet up with other nations as well within Nigeria, to come to the table and have a discussion about how we take our nations back from the shackles that we have. Because right now, wọ́n ti kó ṣẹ̀kẹ̀ṣẹ̀kẹ̀ sí wa lọ́wọ́, wọ́n ti kó sí wa lẹ́sẹ̀. A fẹ́ túra wa sílẹ̀. Báwo ló ṣe lè create environment àti space yẹn fún wa? Even if he can't finish it, at least he should start that conversation. That would be our expectation for him to start that conversation now of how can we get there for all the nations, because kò ṣe Yoruba nation nìkan ló fẹ́ fi Nigeria sílẹ̀. Majority of us have the same ideas. So therefore, having that freedom, our legitimate expectation from him is to give us that space to come and chat and talk about how we get ourselves back on track to giving our nation back. 2015, nígbà tí Buhari fẹ́ wọlé, that he was helping Buhari to come in, one sort of restructuring. Obviously, that was not Buhari's idea. He only agreed to it at the time because he thought that was the, what do you call it? That was the deal breaker. And he would say anything, anyone would say anything in that position. So he said, yes, we will restructure. Mbato Debe, what did he do? We all know his scorecard. So we're saying now, Asiwaju, remember in 2015, when you were canvassing for this man and you talked about restructuring, what does it mean for you now in today's Nigeria? What did it mean for you then? And obviously, going back to the Constitution will be the first thing to be done to allow this to happen. Without that Constitution being changed, being amended, being binned, because the Constitution was not written by anybody other than 4 people in the room. If we bin that Constitution and start again that conversation with every single representative from every nation, we might be lucky to get to where we want to get to eventually. But at least let's start that conversation. And we're saying, please give us that space, that freedom, that human right freedom for us to be able to have that conversation with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Not the closing submission though. I think close. I did the party. Okay. Dr. Oyefule. Ẹ̀rí pé orúkọ yín kan dùn lẹ́nu mi lẹ́nu.
Mo mà notice yẹn gan ni kẹ́.
Torí èmi náà rí pé tí pick on mi lẹ́nu, mo dẹ̀ fẹ́ kẹ́ pick on mi.
Ara àfi yàbọ̀ àfi yẹn sábọ̀. What's your question, man?
Good job for everybody, you panelists. We appreciate you so much. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ dẹ̀ wà lórí ìjókòó náà, ẹ ṣé gan ni, wá dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín gidigidi gan ni. Tẹ́ fi àsìkò yín sílẹ̀ láti darapọ̀ mọ́ wa lénìí. Àti ń bọ́ sí òpin abala tí a wà yìí, ó kù ìbéèrè kan tó máa tún gbà wá lásìkò ká tó bọ́ sí ìbéèrè àti ìdáhùn. So àwọn tí a bá ní question ẹ jẹ́ ká máa ronú sí mí ní ká náwó sókè o, ẹ má ti jẹ́ ká gbọ́wọ́ wa sókè. Ó má dàbẹ̀ pé obìnrin yẹn ó ṣàfojúdi. Ó jẹ́ ká máa ro àwọn questions wa. Next question sí máa bọ́ sí bàbá mi oníge mo fẹ́ kẹ́ dáhùn ìbéèrè so that màá lè relieve yín, be able to do some other things. Then I'll go by the queue. What do you think should be our take home from all our discussions so far? What do you think should be our take home from all that we have discussed today? That's the one summary.
Our take home.
Yeah.
Our take home should be hope and hard work and resilience. Mommy Popola sọ pé what she just said just now nípa expectations wa, and maybe this is a message that we are sending to the incoming government. We should hope that he will listen to I don't know if he has access to this conference or this meeting. We should hope at least he get the message and take it seriously. As a Yoruba man, if truly he's a Yoruba man that love his people, I hope he would take this, the advice seriously. So that would be my take-home suggestion. Eshioloto.
Mr. Miguel. Thank you so much.
Ṣé mi ló kàn ní ẹ̀ sọ?
Ẹ̀yin ló kàn. Bọ́mí mẹ́sàn-án kan tẹ́ máa fi ọyẹ ẹgbẹ́ òsókè ẹ sọ̀rọ̀.
Okay. Mo ń wo chat ni, mo á rí tí Sister Tokunbo in response sí nǹkan tí Madam Popoola sọ, wọ́n ní pé Sister Sandra, you are very correct. You should be reminded that self-determination is the senior brother of restructuring, for which he stood in the past. I really never looked at it that way. One leading to the other. Shubon, that's a very, very good way of describing it. Restructuring is the younger brother to self-determination. So, to that believe in younger brother, that is restructuring. I think it may be we may need to slightly push him, go the way of the older brother. How successful will be, I don't know. But whatever it is, as he endeavored to go that route, Colonel Ledumare Shaw, Kia Wota, Koma Gbogunti, Toba de Gbogunti, ko win ogun ko are victorious. And Otatimo so on Shefula de Nico, and neo-colonialists of the world, neo-colonialism, to pervade gbogbo space while on this planet. One, if you toba gbe ogun ti Ọlọ́run Elédùmarè á jẹ́ ó borí. Kó ṣe younger brother restructuring, kí Ọlọ́run dẹ̀ fún ní agbára àti òye àti làákàyè kó bá wa ṣe senior brother of self-determination. Olóòtú, ẹ má bínú, didn't mean to interrupt your phone call.
Yes, sir.
Mo ti gúnlẹ̀ mà.
Ẹ ṣe àti pàpàtà sí mi báyìí, and that's good.
Mo sọ fún yín pé towards the end, màá ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ mo dẹ̀ ti ṣe.
Ẹ ṣe gan ni, màmá rí yín bá gbogbo yín tẹ́ wà lórí.
You've muted yourself.
You mute again.
Sorry, mo try láti pe Mama mi Sandra, then I'll quickly go back to home, which is
Okay. All right. Ẹ ṣé gan ni. So, kí n kún àwọn èèyàn mi tó ti sọ̀rọ̀ síwájú, kí n kún wọn lẹ́yìn gan ni. Bọ̀dá mi Onígẹmọ, I like your positive vibe of hope And we should all hold on to that hope. Because hope does not disappoint anyone. And to have hope, no matter how small it is, will help us to see another day. So I'm holding on to that hope. Àwọn ẹ̀gbọ́n mi, Dr. Oyefule, ẹ ṣé gan ni for the thought of praying for him. Because I think that is very, very, very important right now. When I said pressure tipo, pressure is coming from different angles, and expectation tipo coming from different angles. And we know the man is fragile, which does not mean he doesn't have the capacity in terms of, brain. I'm not talking about that. He's getting on in age. So that in itself could be a hindrance. But nevertheless, nǹkan t'Ọlọ́run sọ ni pé gbogbo ẹni tó bá wà ní government wa ká gbàdúrà fún wọn, ó nídìí. Nítorí there will be so many arrows coming from different directions. So àdúrà wa ni pé bí àwọn arrows yẹn ṣe ń wá, kí gbogbo wa máa sọ pé back to sender. Nítorí pé táwọn arrows yẹn bá kàn, ó ti kàn àwa náà. Nítorí inú ìlú yẹn la ṣì wà right now. Àwọn èèyàn wa wà, future wa wà, àwọn unborn generation wa wà. So tí any arrows bá kàn, ó kàn àwa náà ni. So tí àwọn arrows yẹn bá ń bọ̀, ẹ jẹ́ ká lo àdúrà. Ní whatever religion, or if you are unreligious, whoever you call, the higher power that you call it to action on behalf of humanity. So what I would leave us with is that we should look beyond 8 years. Yeah, let's say this man is there for 8 years. We're looking beyond 8 years. 8 years is not where we're going. We're going forever to have our own Yoruba nation, ever, so that our people can enjoy the resources to which the God that they created them had given to them. And we must continue to voice our ask. And our ask is Yoruba nation now, please. We want our self-determination. We want to be in control of our government, of our sovereignty, of our integrity. We want to be in control of our resources, our land, our properties, our intellectual capacity. Because at the moment, our intellectual capacity is being used and abused everywhere in the world. We want to retain those. So I would say we keep up hope and we keep praying, and we will get there. That Yoruba nation will come to all of us. Ẹ ṣé gan ni.
Ẹ ṣé gan ni ìyá mi, mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín gan ni. Dr. Oyefule, mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín. Ìyálóde, mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín. Mr. Onigemo, you're so much appreciated. Thank you so much for today's meeting. Ẹ ṣé. Ìròyìn kan bọ́ sí mi lọ́wọ́ ńsìn tí mo fẹ́ announce fún gbogbo wa. Ṣé rí àǹfààní.
You're muted.
You are muted.
You're muted, Mrs. Akonde.
Má bínú, ẹ ṣáà má bínú. Ṣé gbogbo nǹkan tí mo ti sọ yẹn gbọ́?
A gbọ́ pé ìròyìn ti tẹ̀ yín lọ́wọ́, so take it from there.
Oh, okay. Ìròyìn tó tẹ̀ mí lọ́wọ́ náà ni mo ṣe àròyé yẹn lé lórí pé ó máa ń da ká máa attend meetings yìí, ká dẹ̀ máa pe àwọn èèyàn náà wá, wọ́n máa wá gbọ́ nǹkan tá a fẹ́ sọ, káwọn náà máa sọ títọ́ kan wọn síta, kán máa kọ sínú chatroom, ká máa fi èdè yẹn ká máa fi yéra wa. Ìròyìn náà dẹ̀ ní gbogbo nǹkan tá a ti sọ lénìí yìí, bó kéré bó ṣe mọ yẹn, gbogbo ẹ̀ náà ti ṣe ní ìṣe kíkọ sílẹ̀, a dẹ̀ ti fi ránṣẹ́ sí president. So kò ń ṣe pà ń sọ̀rọ̀ lásán, gbogbo nǹkan tá a ti sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn, opinions wa, expressions wa, expectation, self-determination, bọ́n ṣe ti sọ yẹn, wọ́n ti kọ sínú ìwé, wọ́n dẹ̀ ti fi ránṣẹ́. Ìròyìn yẹn nìyẹn. So kò ń kàn ṣe pà kan rojọ́ lásán, Àbí a kàn máa wá every Saturday, especially èní, you are very important to us. It's just the last weekend before the inauguration, and it expressed the mind wa, and it has been forwarded to the right quarters. Ṣé announcement yẹn ó ti yé wa bẹ́yìn pé gbogbo nǹkan tí a ti sọ lénìí? Expectations wa as a Yoruba nation activist or Yoruba nation struggle àti express àdẹ̀tí kọ́ àti fi ránṣẹ́ sí ibi tó yẹ kó lọ ní agbára Èdùmàrè. Èsì ayọ̀dè la máa gbọ́, nǹkan ọ̀tun ló máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí jẹ jáde.
Thank you, Mrs. Akande.
Okay.
Basically, what we've done is this. Yoruba, money, bobo, no one yogori, and atokere ba lojukere, lojukoro lo ti me konsun. Nǹkan tá ṣe, a ní orí ọ̀fẹ́. Wípé Yorùbá ní a kì í lọ́kọ́ sílẹ̀ ká fọwọ́ kó imí. Gẹ́gẹ́ tó ṣe béèrè fẹ̀yìn àgbàlagbà wa. What we've done ní pé Yorùbá sọ fún wa wípé ta ló kọ́ ẹ lọ́gbọ́n tí ò kọ́ ẹ lómùgọ̀. We learn. We are privileged to be riding on the shoulders of giants. There are so many giants in this house. You advise us and we listen. What Mrs. Akande said, for the benefit of our compatriots worldwide, we feel it is important to break the issue of self-determination into segments. Bloggers have been speaking about it, but not in an elaborate way. A lot of people don't even know what it's about. But today, these panelists have touched every area. The Montevideo Convention, what constitutes a state, how the law, the enabling laws, all these things have been explained to our compatriots worldwide, which is the reason I believe the video of the meeting today is something that we should share. Now going back to the letter that she mentioned, you will recollect that a while back, Mrs. Sandra Popola OBE read out the congratulatory messages. It wasn't just the video or the text that we released, but we felt it is appropriate, it is a wise thing to do. So we've communicated that letter to the president-elect. So he knows where we stand. And it becomes very imperative in the light of some national decisions that we've made. We've made decisions based on Yoruba national interest. And like many have rightly said today, that our agitation goes beyond 8 years. 8 years. We've cited Psalm 37, the Jews, by the rivers of Babylon there we sat down, the day we remember Zion. How can we begin to sing the Lord's song in a strange land? Oh, Jerusalem, if we look by, but they achieved the purpose in 1948. May the God of Oduduwa, Obafemi Awolowo, Bola Ige, and all the saints, and the blood of those shed on Yoruba land grant our desire for Yoruba self-determination. So, àwọn nǹkan tá a ti ṣe nìyẹn, gbogbo nǹkan tá a ti sọ níbí lẹ́nìí, rí ìmọ̀, wọ́n ní ó máa ń increase. Many people wọ́n sì níbi tá a wà lẹ́nìí. Tó bá dọ̀la, the Bible says, as the water cover the sea, may the knowledge of the Lord increase. Gbogbo mọ nǹkan ayé kó increase lórí wa. So, ìdí nìyẹn tó yẹ pé a fi ṣe ìpàdé lẹ́nìí, not to preempt anybody, because we believe pé gbogbo wa náà láti mọ̀ àwọn nǹkan yẹn àti gbọ́ lẹ́nu màmá wa ó bí few weeks ago. But nísìnyí, it is documented that these are not insurrectionists. These are not just some guys that want to run riots, but these are people that want to run a campaign legitimately and in a diplomatic manner. These are Omoluabe people. Wọ́n fẹ́ Yorùbá nation fún ire, kò ń ṣe jẹun sókè. So ìdí nìyẹn tó yẹ pé I feel pé wọ́n ní kí n boroboro kó má kẹ́nìkan mọ́ ni ẹni tó máa kàn láàmú. But pẹ̀lú oore ọ̀fẹ́ Elédùmarè, we can honestly say the directorate àti mọ̀ pé ti Yorùbá là ń ṣe, à ń ṣe olóṣèlú, omi tí a bá dà sórí ilẹ̀ òun ló ń bọ̀. So we thank you, we love you, we appreciate everybody that has been contributing in different ways to what the Yoruba Nation Global Directorate is becoming. Thank to our able leader, our very humble lady, who at times when things are hard, she admonished us to look beyond numbers. Pé kékeré ni ata tó fi ń tààyàn lójú, pé gidigba ò ṣílẹ̀kùn, àfẹ́ntọ́lọ́ bá fún kọ́kọ́rọ́, kọ́lọ̀ fún wa ní kọ́kọ́rọ́ láti gbé Yoruba Nation dé èbúté ayọ̀. Thank you very much and God bless you. And thank you, Mrs. Akonde, for sparing me.
Barrister, gbogbo bí táwọn owó yẹn ti ń wá ẹjọ́ ẹ bá wa archive ẹ o. Ìjọ tó rí Ọlọ́run, Jesus Christ.
Thank you. Thank you. Olúwa fún wa ní ìmísí gbogbo wa. Thank you.
Ẹ ṣé gan ni gbogbo àwa tí a ti wà lórí hot seat sí ní mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín, Mr. Nigemo. Thank you so much for your unique way of delivering your answers to questions. Mama Miobi, thank you for the positions, your answers, your skills, your knowledge. We appreciate you. Àti Dr. Yefule. Ẹ ṣé gan ni, mi ní sọ̀rọ̀ púpọ̀ jù torí ẹ má yẹ ibà yọ fún mi. Mo dúpẹ́ fún yín gan ni fún gbogbo nǹkan tí contributions, history. Upon your own career, you have that knowledge of history. But mi ní sọ pé kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ lórí history ṣá o. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bá dẹ̀ kọ́ náà ó dáa, àlẹ́sẹ̀ ní dàbí àwọn tó ń change history wa, wọ́n ń kọ́ bọ̀ wọ́n ń change díẹ̀díẹ̀ mọ́ wa lọ́wọ́. Oríṣiríṣi history ló wà ń tàn sí, but thank you for that knowledge. Mo máa appreciate it. Mo máa ń kọ sílẹ̀ ni. So, but mi ò ní fi hàn yín o, mi ò ní pàìlẹ̀ ìjọ kí n fi hàn yín lọ́jọ́ kan. Ẹ ṣé gan ni, we appreciate you so much. Àwa tá a wà lórí ìjókòó náà, yín bàbá mi, yín ìyá mi, mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín. Ẹ ṣé gan tẹ́ fi time yín sílẹ̀ láti wá attend meeting láti gbọ́. Kò ń ṣe fún sìn náà, fún ọ̀la ni àti fún àwọn ìran wa. Àwa náà à ń kọ́ history tiwa náà sílẹ̀ nìyẹn. Tó bá dẹ̀ ṣe kọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ náà làwọn èèyàn dẹ̀ ṣe máa bá wa kà á. Tó bá dìgbà yẹn náà, wọn ò ní náà ka àyà sí wa láti dáná máa nà sí wa. Ẹ ṣé gan ni, mo dúpẹ́. Èmi máa mú òpin wá sí abala panelist yìí. Ó kàn fún àwọn èèyàn láti máa béèrè ìbéèrè. Tó máa pé ẹ jẹ́ ká máa náwó wa sókè nsìn fún ìbéèrè. Màá dẹ̀ gbé máìkì yẹn fún ẹni tó máa.
Ẹ̀yin náà ló kàn.
So báyìí sí a ti fẹ́ bọ́ sí mo rò pé mo lè sáré máa sá lọ ti tèmi. Mo mọ̀ pé wọ́n ní jẹ́ kí n lọ. Okay o, ẹ jẹ́ ká bẹ̀rẹ̀ question and answers. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́, ẹ jẹ́ ká náwó wa sókè àwa tá a ní ìbéèrè. Àwa tá a ní, mi mọ̀ bóyá wọ́n máa gbà wá láyè láti ṣe àfikún o. Àwa tá a bá ní ìbéèrè, ẹ jẹ́ ká kọ ìbéèrè làákàyè ni. Kì í ṣe ìbéèrè tá a ti mọ ìdáhùn sí. Kì í dẹ̀ ṣe ìbéèrè tá a béèrè láti ìgbà tá a ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ movement yìí. Ẹ mọ̀ pa ti bá débì kan. Ibi tá a bá dé yẹn, ẹ jẹ́ ká béèrè question way forward, which is going to be beneficial to every one of us. Ẹ ṣé gan ni. Mo retí ká máa náwó wa sókè. Mi ò lè rí níbí báyìí. Barrister ìjọ ṣe bá mi rí ọwọ́ àwọn tó náwó sókè.
Ẹnì kankan tí náwó sókè so far.
Okay.
Tí náwó sókè.
Ẹ ṣé, ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà nílé, ibì kan wà nínú program tá a ti ṣe lénìí tó wà very sensitive. Tí mo dẹ̀ rí pé Mr. Nigemo try láti ṣàlàyé lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí, kì í ṣe ìkànnì tó wá láti pick anybody. Ó ti yé wa. Bá a ṣe máa rìnrìn àjò yẹn là á wà fún. A fẹ́ lọ ni, lílọ́dẹ̀ là ń lọ. Ẹ ṣé gan ni. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́, ẹ jẹ́ ká máa náwó wa sókè fún ìbéèrè. Àwa tó bá dẹ̀ pa prefer láti kọ́, ẹ jẹ́ ká máa kọ sílẹ̀. Ẹ má jẹ́ ká gbàgbé pé every Saturday la máa ń ní meeting yìí. And àwọn tá a bá dẹ̀ fẹ́ dáwó tí kò yé wa bá ṣe máa dáwó, ẹ bá wo ní ìkànnì nínú ibi tó ti ń kọ chat, wọ́n ti ṣe síbẹ̀. Àbí kẹ́kàn sí àwọn secretariat náà. Wọ́n máa fi ojú ọ̀nà hàn wá bá ṣe máa dáwó. Ẹ ṣé gan ni. Link YouTube tá a ṣe lénìí náà, ẹ jẹ́ ká máa share ẹ̀ náà fún àwọn èèyàn wa. Okay, ó yá wa láti tètè ṣetán lénìí yìí. Ṣùgbọ́n ọ̀rọ̀ kún inú gbogbo wa. Ẹ jẹ́ ká sọ̀rọ̀. Àbára wa sọ̀rọ̀. Okay. Since tí kò dẹ̀ wá sí anybody tó náwó ń sìn. Okay, bàbá mi Francis Adéfi. wọ́n ti náwó sókè. Ẹ ṣé gan ni bàbá mi. Ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò
ẹ
yìí.
ṣé gan olóòtú. Ìbéèrè mi ni pé ìgbà wo ni a fi àwọn ọba wa, ọba ilẹ̀ Yorùbá sí abẹ́ àwọn òṣèlú tó fi ṣe yí pé ọba local government chairman gan ó lágbára ju ọba lọ? Ìgbà wo leléyìí wáyé? Kí sì ni ìdí rẹ̀ tá a fi kó àwọn ọba wa sí abẹ́ àwọn òṣèlú? Ẹ ṣé olóòtú.
Ìbéèrè rèé o.
mo lè dáhùn yẹn tẹ́ bá fẹ́ olóòtú.
Barrister ṣẹ́yìn náà fẹ́ dáhùn bọ́ jẹ́ ká
ẹ
fún
jẹ́ kí Dr. Oyefule dáhùn.
Okay, Dr. Oyefule, go ahead. Ẹ ṣé gan.
Pé àwọn ọba wa wọ́n wà ní under àwọn politician kì í ṣe nǹkan tó ṣe ṣẹlẹ̀ alàgbà Adéfì. Ó ti wà láti again a máa tún wo history o ní 1892 ìgbà tí nínú ogun Ìmàgbọ́n tí àwọn British tán defeat Ìjẹ̀bú wọ́n fi èèyàn kan síbẹ̀ colonial officer kan wọ́n máa ń pè ní DO district officer. Ṣẹ́ra àwọn district officer yẹn díẹ̀ náà bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní agbára lórí ọba, and from 1892 yẹn títí di ìgbà tí àwọn British tó fully put their hold on Yoruba land and other parts of what later became Nigeria. By 1914, ìgbà amalgamation, wọ́n ti ń lo indirect rule ọjọ́ ti pẹ́. Ó wà easy láti lò pẹ̀lú àwọn Fúlàní, wọ́n ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí wá lò náà lọ́dọ̀ wa náà. Láàárín àwọn Ìgbò tí kò sí ọba, wọ́n ti ń announce àwọn ọba. But wọ́n sọ ṣe wọ́n in such a way tó yẹ pé district officer ló máa ní agbára lé wọn lórí. Like I said, ìgbà tó kọ́kọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọn ò ṣe blatantly. But as time went on into 1914 amalgamation, on and on in the 30s, in the 40s, our district officers didn't decide what in the agbára lórí àwọn ọba. So ìgbà tá a gba independence 1960, wọ́n kò continue irú àṣà bálabàla yẹn. So òun náà ló bá dé ìsìn náà ní 1999 the latest republic coming to being tí ó yẹ pé kí ọba wà ní under district officer, but yìí sì wọ́n nípò on district officer, wọ́n the chairman of the local council. Ìdí náà nìyẹn alàgbà.
Ẹ ṣé mo dúpẹ́.
Ìdáhùn yẹn tẹ́yín lọ́rùn bàbá mi.
Ó tẹ́ mi lọ́rùn. Ẹ ṣé gan olóòtú.
Yes, ẹ ṣé gan ni Sam. Afẹ́kẹ́ mute mic yín kẹ̀dẹ̀ gbé ọwọ́ ẹ̀rọ yẹn sílẹ̀ padà so that kò lè máa confuse èmi tí mò ń pè àwọn. Ẹ ti gbọ́ bàbá mi. Prophet Ajéwọlé.
Ẹ ṣé olóòtú, ẹ ṣé ẹ kú iṣẹ́ takuntakun o. Bàbá Akínwálé, ẹ ṣé lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ orí ọ̀fẹ́ àtún gbogbo wa. Gbogbo nǹkan ni ohun tí mo gbọ́ yẹ mo fẹ́ kí gbé yín àgbà. Ẹni tí ẹni ọgbọ́n ẹgbọ́ ohun tí Olúwa ń sọ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ o. Olúwa sọ pé nǹkan tí a fẹ́ tí àléfà tó ń bọ̀ yìí, bàbá wa tó lọ́ fẹ́ gbé sórí àléfà tá a di president wa tó tẹ̀ ti dá already. Ó ní àbàtà, ó ta kété láì bódò tán. Ó ní ṣe àyíká àbàtà kó ta kété láì bódò tán ni. Ó ní tẹ́ bá ń ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀, ó ní kò ní dáa. So directorate mo pè yín báyìí, àbàtà kò gbọdọ̀ ta kété láì bódò tán o. Gbogbo wa tí a fẹ́ interest group tí a fẹ́ gba Yorùbá tọkàntọkàn tààtàrà tí ipa kan fẹ́ láti lọ gba ipò tàbí nǹkan tẹ́ kó dúró ló rán wa níṣẹ́, a ò gbọdọ̀ ṣe bí kí àbàtà wà láì bódò tán. So òwe ni o, so ọ̀dọ̀ gbogbo wa Olúwa ràn wá lọ́wọ́, a lè sọ gbogbo kan lórí ìkànnì bí eléyìí bébí ẹ lọ kágbéyẹ̀wò. Àbàtà ohun tó ló sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ pé àbàtà wa ò gbọdọ̀ ta kété láì bódò tán. Tá bá ti ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀, nǹkan tí ẹ ká tètè mú ká ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ká lè mú lórí pàmò nídìí o, kò ní bọ́ lọ́wọ́ wa. ẹ ṣé o ẹ dẹ̀ kú iṣẹ́ Olúwa ràn wá gbọ́ wa lọ́wọ́ mo sọ pé àbàtà kò gbọdọ̀ ta kétán láì gbọdọ̀ tán àlàáfíà fún wa ẹ ṣé o God bless.
Thank you, sir.
ẹ ṣe
Ẹ ṣé gan. I'm sure pé ẹ wà ní meeting ní last week.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni sir.
A sọ nǹkan. Gẹ́gẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn àgbàlagbà ṣe máa ń sọ ní iṣu ẹni ló mú ni kọ́wọ́ bọ ipò.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Ìtẹ́ sọ nípa àbàtà yìí Yorùbá ń lòwe àlòlò àgídìgbò ni. Ọlọ́gbọ́n ló ń gbọ́n ọ̀mọ̀ràn. Òun dẹ̀ ló mọ̀ díẹ̀. Àti wípé ọ̀rọ̀ díẹ̀ báyìí là ń sọ fún ọlọ́gbọ́n tó bá dénú ẹ̀ á di òdìndì. Nǹkan tẹ́ ẹ sọ kì í ṣe ìmọ̀ràn kì í dẹ̀ ṣe ohun because àtòkèrè lójú kòrò tí mẹ́kún sùn. Igi gogoro má gòmí lójú wọ́n ní ògiri báyìí ni. The international dimension and the vested interest tó wà involved in this, the challenges, the entire thing by the grace of God. And when he was talking, Dr. Ifule alluded to quite a number of things about this. So we are not, and we did mention this with every sense of humility, that Taria Janoku kì í ṣe Romode, but pẹ̀lú oore ọ̀fẹ́ Elédùmarè, ìmísí àwọn àgbà, mo mọ̀ pé a ṣe é ṣe fún wa. Ohunkóhun tá a bá fẹ́ ṣe, wọ́n ti ní ká bẹ́lẹ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ lọ́nà, ká lélẹ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ náà, ká tó fi àbọ̀ bá adìyẹ. Ní ìdílé Yorùbá lọ́wọ́ tá a wà yìí, tí àwọn èèyàn bá fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ogun abẹ́lé tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Nàìjíríà, nobody tó máa ń dárúkọ Ezeogo, àbá máa dárúkọ Aguiyi-Ironsi, wọ́n á ní àwọn Ìgbò. Nǹkan tó máa sọ nìyẹn. Ohunkóhun tó bá máa mú ìtìjú bá orúkọ Yorùbá, a ní wash dirty ní ara wa in public. But torí pé Yorùbá ní bá mi nọmọ mi kò dé inú ọlọ́mọ. You will remember the trial balloon when Ọbásanjọ́ tá a ti mọ̀ pé kì í ṣe tiwa tó wà ńbẹ̀. Wọ́n náà fẹ́ pàbọ̀ Yorùbá ní níjọ́ tí ẹ bá pa wèrè lẹ́ máa mọ̀ kó lẹ́bi. So gbogbo nǹkan tó bá yẹ ká ṣe gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọlúwàbí á ṣe. Yorùbá ní tọmọ ìyá méjì bá wọlé tán bá bára wọn sọ̀rọ̀ tójú wọn pọ́n, wọ́n ti sòótọ́ ni. Ọ̀tán bá jáde tán rẹ́rìn, irọ́ ni àbòsí ni. The president-elect is a Yoruba man. But we would do what Yorubas do. What we do at crucial time. We will do it. Abara wa sòótọ́. So that we would make sure. Àdúrà wa ní pé kí Yorùbá succeed. Yorùbá succeed. Fún àwọn ẹ̀yà yòókù, pàtàkì jùlọ fún ẹ̀yà Yorùbá. Yoruba nation, no going back. Allah fún gbogbo wa ṣe. Thank you very much. Ẹ ṣé gan. Olóòtú.
Ẹ ṣé God bless.
Barrister. Bàbá mi Prophet ẹjọ́ bá mi mute mic yẹn. Ẹ ṣé gan ni. Bá mi jọ̀ọ́ ẹ má bínú sí mi ò ṣàfojúdi o. Ẹ̀yin ló yẹ kẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ kí Prophet Larry tó sọ̀rọ̀. Bọ̀ ibi tí mo ti ń ṣàlàyé pé kí bàbá mi Francis Adéìfẹ́ kan mute mo ṣe mistake pé wọ́n. So ẹ̀yin ni kẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ ń ṣe má bínú sí mi ṣe ti gbọ́. Ẹ ṣé gan ni.
Bá wàhálà bá ní, kò sí wàhálà. Ẹ ṣé gan.
Nagode.
Àgọ́wé bàbá. Question mi ni pé mo rò pé Ambassador Tokunbo, I'll make it kan lórí chat, so I want a question from there. What do you think we can do láti rí pé àwọn ajẹgúdújẹrá àwọn táwọn fẹ́ ká lọ nítorí pé wọn à ní rí jẹkújẹ yẹn jẹ mọ́ tàbádélẹ̀ Yorùbá? What can we do to convince them or to, let them know pé kò sọ́nà nípa pé bọ́n ṣe ń ṣe wá yẹn wọ́n á tún máa rí ṣe mọ́? Now I know that pé ìjọba tó wà ń bẹ̀ ń sìn pé ara wa ni o, and they are all politicians, so let me use the word politicians pé kí la fi lè convince wọn tó yẹ pé a change ẹ̀mí wọn débi pé wọn ní máa bá corruption ẹ̀ lọ́mọ.
Kí la lè fi convince wọn? Iṣẹ́ wà fúnlẹ̀ wà, Orílẹ̀-èdè wa.
Orí
Only call. The Bible says faith without work is dead.
Okay.
Tá a bá ṣe ń ṣiṣẹ́, iṣẹ́ ò ní dìṣẹ́ mọ́ wa lọ́wọ́.
Yálà.
A máa sọ́nà ni, ẹnu la máa fi sọ̀rọ̀, etí dẹ̀ la máa fi gbọ́.
Inshallah.
Yorùbá ní ọ̀rọ̀ lọmọ ilé tí ń jẹ ọ̀rọ̀. The level of ignorance in Yoruba nation is something that we cannot even emphasize until the self-determination. A lot of people think ariwo ni music. Ẹ̀yin bàbá wa ní àgbá òfìfo ló ń dún wòròwòrò. Àgbá òfìfo yẹn pọ̀. Ó pọ̀. Many people mọ nǹkan tó jẹ́ ìjàngbara, wọn mọ nǹkan tó ń jẹ́ self-determination. I think this is where ekulé gbọ́dọ̀ bọ̀ kó sọ fún toko. Àtàrí àjànàkú ni kì í ṣiṣẹ́ nìkan. The more our people are enlightened, the more la máa fi gba òmìnira. Wọ́n ní èyí ò mọ òtítọ́. Òtítọ́ yóò sọ yín di òmìnira. God, we need to move from the realm of worshiping a person to a vision. It can't be a dream or personal ambition. It's got to be a vision. Such like Steve Biko of South Africa, Mandela. It's got to be something like Martin Luther King, who saw a vision. He even alluded to the fact that he may not be there. When we are altruistic, ìfarasìn, tàdé ń sọ, numbers la need, sir. Numbers. Tó bá ti di pé a gbọ́ ìmọ̀ràn lẹ́ẹ̀kan ká má gba owó láti àbẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ láti tara wa ọ̀nà fún ọ̀nà ọ̀run. When we begin to know wípé kò ń ṣoúnjẹ tá a jẹ lénìí ló mátà, a gbọ́dọ̀ torí ẹdẹ ká ba ẹ̀dẹ̀ jẹ́. Àwọn politician mi ò ní lè padà sí agboolé wọn mọ́. Yorùbá náà kì í pìtẹ̀ nàró fàbùké, kò sí nǹkan tẹ́ lè sọ fún ọmọ ìgbé àṣègbè ni. But nǹkan tá a lè ṣe fún ara wa ni pé those they intend to keep ignorant, let us enlighten them. Ìdí rèé, bàbá, ẹ̀yin tẹ́ tún jẹ́ àgbàlagbà tẹ́ jẹ́ ẹ̀gbọ́n wa, a bá yín lẹ́nu ẹ̀ ni. Ẹ rántí bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀, redivision. Ìdí tí bàbá tó fi redivision sí gbogbo lé ní Yorùbá state nígbà yẹn ni pé káwọn èèyàn wa lè wà enlightened, ká lè mọ nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀. Ibi tá a máa padà sí nìyẹn. A máa sọ fáwọn èèyàn, we don't want anybody singing any song to worship any human being. But let's remember ìran àwọn tá àti ìbí. Gone are the days. I was talking to somebody during the week. When it's so easy, I'm in UK, but we can mobilize people in Nigeria. Ká daṣọ fún wọn kan fi àwòrán mi sí. Ká dẹ̀ kó gbogbo àwọn ọmọ ajé ìgboro nọ́mbà, ká dẹ̀ débẹ̀. Òṣèlú bẹ̀rẹ̀ nìyẹn o. Ta ló sọ pé àwọn ní bàbá? To hell with bad babas. Ní ìdílé àwọn bàbá báyẹn. Ta ló sọ pé àwọn ní bàbá? Kai, ní bàbá. Where has those political fathers taken us? Ranka déédéé. Bàbá sọ pé nílẹ̀ Yorùbá kò síbẹ̀ ńgbà tá a wà ń dàgbà. So how do we do it? Is to continuously awareness. Tí individual bá lè ṣe bí ẹ ṣe ní ìmọ̀ nísìn kẹ́ reproduce ara yín kí n rí pé wow ọ̀nà lílẹ̀ yìí o kò ṣe restructure, you know, this is not for me but ìran tó ń bọ̀. Winston Churchill, one of the greatest leaders in the United Kingdom, said, we make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give. This for Yoruba nation is a season of giving. Let us pass on knowledge to our people. Nítorí pé ẹ̀yin ò mọ òtítọ́, òtítọ́ yóò sọ yín di òmìnira. A ní láti gba owó àbẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ olóṣèlú. There was a time tó yẹ pé Volkswagen Beetle, Toyota Panel 1,500 ni, brand new. Anybody that grew up in Ibadan will know JL in Ibadan. Àwọn náà ń tà. With 1,500 today, you cannot even buy poke kẹ̀kẹ́. A lè rà lẹ́yìn. Àwọn èèyàn ń kọ́lé nígbà yẹn tó yẹ pé nǹkan tó fi ń jẹun nìyẹn. by the time you've collected the rent for 4-bedroom flat, for 4 flats, could cover medical treatment in human Nigeria. So let's think ahead. Could you marry be? Could you marry be? Valentale. Ìyàwó ẹ̀ ń tó gògóró. Ẹni kò ṣe ṣù lábúlé. Ọmọ tó lọ school fọdún mẹ́ta. Tó ń ṣe runs. Àbí tó ń ṣe yahoo. Ṣé dùnú nìyẹn? Owó olóṣèlú lè gbé adébì kankan. So bá a ṣe máa ṣe tó pé ìran tó ń bọ̀ lẹ́ni ká sacrifice, ká ṣiṣẹ́, ká lè jọlà. Nǹkan tó rin yẹn kọ́ wa nìyẹn. Orin tó ti kọ láyé ọjọ́ yìí ó sì relevant. Tó bá mètò iṣẹ́ ò ní oògùn ìṣẹ́. Ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣiṣẹ́, ká bọ́ sórí pápá, ká sọ fáwọn èèyàn wa, ká padà síbi àwọn ọmọlúwàbí ìtọ̀sùn wa. Ìgbà yẹn á dẹ̀ yẹ gbogbo wa àti àwọn ìran tó ń bọ̀. Thank you very much, sir.
Thanks very much for that competence. Awareness has to continue.
Ẹ ṣé gan ni bá mi tó, ẹ ṣé bá ṣe lè gbé. Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ everybody. Ṣé ẹnikẹ́ni tún fẹ́ béèrè kí ẹni yẹn kó gbóhùn sókè bí mi tilẹ̀ rí owó yẹn? Kò bá sí.
Ìjọ ọwọ́ mi wà lókè, ṣé mo lè béèrè?
Ẹ ṣé ìyá mi Àbíkẹ́ Akínpẹ̀lú, ẹ má bínú sí mi, mi ò rí ọwọ́ yẹn ni. Ẹ ṣé gan ni, ẹ gbóhùn sókè.
Ẹ ṣé mà, ẹ kú ìpàdé, Ọlọ́run ní bàlákàyè gbogbo wa jẹ́. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́, mo during ìgbà tẹ́ ṣe announcement, ó dà pé mo pick pé ẹ ti send the congratulatory message sí bàbá Tinubu pé directorate is like working, having contact with him. Èmi wá a bit concerned ní pé because à ń gbọ́ pé àwọn kan fẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìjọba at the same time. Ǹjẹ́ jẹ́ kán mọ̀ wípé kì í ṣe same group because they're all agitating for Yoruba nation. Because politicians won't trust anybody. Because you might say you are working with him, we are all embracing, we are all going to support him, pray for him. But at the end of the day, you know, only money bias mind. I want not to go information. This is just my concern. This is not your own part of Yoruba nation agitation.
Thank you very much, man. Ẹ̀yin màmá wa àti bàbá wa, ẹ jẹ́ ká mọ̀ pé òdú kì í ṣàìmọ̀ fólóko. Òdú kì í ṣàìmọ̀ fólóko. Àwọn atimọ́ra wa nísìnyí, wọ́n ta bá já ewé kan sápá ọ̀tún, ta bá já ìkan sápá òsì. Méjèèjì yàtọ̀ fúnra wọn. Ó sì ẹ̀pà àti èpo ìlérí, wọ́n lè jọra wọn. So gbogbo ẹgbẹ́ pátápátá, àwọn Tinubu campaign group, Tinubu think tank, gbogbo àwọn tó ń ṣe pátápátá náà mọ owó ẹgbẹ́ tó wà nílẹ̀ Yorùbá o. A gbọ́dọ̀ tanra wa jẹ. So a lè pe Táyé ní Kẹ́hìndé fún wọn. Bí ojú ti ẹ̀jẹ̀ òun Paul àbí Ìsọ̀ tí smell tó jáde níbẹ̀, ojú ọtí Jacob, they will pick it out. We know who they are. And they know who we are. Abeg, so mama wa ẹ fọkàn balẹ̀. Gbogbo political ideology oníkálukú àmọ́, and the doctrine and gbogbo nǹkan tí gbogbo ẹgbẹ́ tó ń dúró lé lórí tó ń jàjàǹgbara pátápátá, gbogbo ẹ̀ náà pátápátá oníkálukú tí mama wa ní àlà ló máa fòkò lẹ́hàn. So ẹ má jẹ́ ká comment lórí àwọn yòókù, but wọ́n máa ń ní a ó bẹ̀ṣẹ̀ rẹ̀ wò tó bá wọlé ògo. Àsìkò tí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá lásìkò tó le tó crucial nísìnyí, àtàwọn tó ti ń fọ́tán ti ń gba ìwé ìrìnnà òfurufú, àwọn tó ti ń náwó, wọ́n ti ń ṣe gbogbo, àtàwọn tó ti ṣe gbogbo nǹkan tó ń ṣe kọ́ máa ṣe lọ. Ìgbẹ̀yìn báyìí ló máa jẹ́ òtítọ́, ló máa fòtítọ́ hàn. Thank you very much. Ẹ ṣé gan-an.
Ẹ ṣé gan ni barrister. Ó dà pé ṣì máa tún sọ ọ̀rọ̀, ẹ máa fi ṣe àlàyé díẹ̀ lórí ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn. Tí question yẹn bá yé mi, wọ́n sọ yí pé ṣé ẹ jẹ́ kán mọ̀ pé ẹ kì í ṣe group tó ń bá wọn ṣiṣẹ́, pé a ti congratulate presidency pé àdẹ̀mbá ṣáwa ń bá presidency ṣiṣẹ́ mi pé èmi fi kó yẹ ká yànnà náà yẹn a congratulate wọn yẹn show me pé à ń bá wọn ṣiṣẹ́ ni.
Well, màá dá nǹkan tẹ́ sọ bọ̀ bó ti yé mi tí màmá yẹn ṣe sọ wọ́n make a reference sí ẹgbẹ́ mi tí wọ́n fi gba òmìnira tó ń fẹ́ dá aṣojú sílẹ̀ ibi tí wọ́n ní lòwe là ń lòlò àgídìgbò ọlọ́gbọ́n ló ń jọ ọ̀mọ̀ràn ló ń mọ ìdí ẹ̀ tó ibi tí màmá ń sọ̀rọ̀ lọ àwọn group òmìnira nọ́mbà wí.
bẹ́ẹ̀ ni sà yes.
No, so we are only saying what is justifiable.
Yeah.
What we've had, what is not, what is in the public. We're not castigating them. Something got to wrong. Mama allude senior and you know to raise because I'm bound one shisha, some bolushu lushisha. Sherry, but when to ban say that, need to fair Yoruba. Gbogbo wọn àti bí ọdún kejì sẹ́yìn náà ti sọ pé wọ́n ti gbowó directorate ti gbowó mo ṣe ń san bí ilé mi barrister ṣe ń san tiẹ̀ princess ṣe ń san tiẹ̀ àti retire we've never taken a boat cruise lifestyle wa ò change ọ̀rọ̀ tá à ń sọ kò change náà nítorí ẹdẹ ká bẹ̀ẹ̀dẹ̀ jẹ́ àwa ò bá olóṣèlú ṣiṣẹ́ o even though a lot of people don't understand this. That self-determination is a political act. Anything that seeks to change the government is political. The only difference is we are not partisan. We are not partisan. Kebasoro ìjọba orílẹ̀-èdè àbí kó orílẹ̀-èdè dádúró is political. But by APC ẹgbẹ́ tó yan ọmọ ìyá wa as ààrẹ Yorùbá. Bá wọn ṣiṣẹ́ o. But tá bá rí ohunkóhun tó bá fẹ́ pa ilẹ̀ Yorùbá àbí ọmọ Yorùbá lára á fòun wá síbẹ̀. Kò yé many people nígbà táwọn kan ní we shall take Lagos. We said look. Kò sí bó ṣe lè rí o. Ẹ jẹ́ ká lẹ́rẹ́ ọ̀rọ̀ náà ká tó fa bọ̀ fàdí. A ní ẹ dìbò fún gómìnà tó wà ń bẹ̀ ṣe bọ́ ọmọ Yorùbá ni. It was a wise decision. A lot of people don't say it then, but they can see it later. Till Lagos bá ti lọ nígbà yẹn, through the state assembly, any law not le promulgate. Wọ́n ní abẹ́rẹ́ bọ́rọ̀ wa dẹ́tẹ̀, ó dètè, kò ní dètè fún Yorùbá. Nígbà yẹn, nísìn àti lọ́jọ́ iwájú. So tọmọ ìyá méjì bá bára wọn sọ̀rọ̀, tójú wọn pọ́n tọ̀rọ̀ ni. Bá Bọ́lá Ahmed, Aṣíwájú Bọ́lá Ahmed Tinubu sọ̀rọ̀ tọmọtìyá nípa ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá in a way tó jẹ́ pé ẹ̀mí títí ẹ̀ gan kò ní sí nínú ewu. Wọ́n ní ọmọdọ̀ náà ó fọgbọ́n sọ, ó fọgbọ́n ṣe bó ṣe máa rí nìyẹn. Thank you.
Ẹ ṣé gan
tí o barrister ọkàn yín á balẹ̀ àmì ẹ̀mọ́ ọlọ́run àti gbogbo yín lẹ́yìn o ọ̀rọ̀ tẹ́ ẹ ṣe ọmọnìwò wa lò ọ̀rọ̀ gan ti tì lẹ́yìn o. God bless as well. Ẹ ṣé.
Ẹ ṣé gan ni iṣẹ́ ti land Prophet Ajẹ́wọlé.
Anyway, ẹ ṣé ma ẹ ṣé.
Okay. Ẹ ṣé gan ni torí bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe gbóhùn sókè yẹn àyà mi kọ́kọ́ jáná. Àti fẹ́ bọ́ sí ìparí program ti tèmi so mo fẹ́ ṣé kò sí anybody tó tún ní question àbí anything tó fẹ́ béèrè. Mrs. Akínpẹ̀lú ẹ ṣé gan tẹ́ bring that question or opinion yẹn jáde. I so much appreciate that and Barrister Ogedengbe was able to clarify a lot of things. Èmi ò ní problem but mo kàn mọ́ béèrè question yẹn so that we will better understand what is going on. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n wo aago mi o. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ta ló mọ aago nílẹ̀ Yorùbá báyìí? 12:02. I think we've exceeded our time. Ṣé kí n gbá Prophet Látàrí mo ṣàmọ̀ pé pastor ní ìbọn Látàrí ní mo rí báyìí. Ṣé ìbéèrè yìí yẹn kò ní pẹ́ torí a ti fẹ́ parí báyìí?
Pastor Taiwo Adesina.
Pastor Taiwo.
Kò pẹ́ mà, kò pẹ́ mà. Kò pẹ́. Mo kàn fẹ́ dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run tó dá ní ayé àti ọ̀run. Mo fẹ́ dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo yín, gbogbo iṣẹ́ tẹ̀ ń ṣe tí gbogbo yín ṣe tí Ọlọ́run rán yín torí Ọlọ́run ló rán yín tẹ̀ ń ṣe fún Yorùbá. Ẹ ń ṣe fún Ọlọ́run, ẹ dẹ̀ ń ṣe fún Yorùbá. Gbogbo ìdáwọ́lé yín lórí àlàyé ayọ̀rísí ayọ̀. Ayé fẹ́, ayé kọ̀, á dára fún gbogbo yín. So mo really appreciate Ọlọ́run ayé yín. Thank you so much. Mo really mọ̀ lóore gbogbo nǹkan tẹ̀ ń ṣe. Ẹ ní ṣe wàhálà lásán lórúkọ Jésù Kristi. Àjùkọ tí mo fẹ́ sọ nìyẹn. Ẹ ṣé gan ni sà, ẹ ṣé gan ni mà. Mo appreciate Ọlọ́run, mo appreciate yín. Thank you so much.
Ẹ ṣé gan ni. Sorry, orúkọ yẹn tún ti ẹ gbà mí látàrí mi ò rántí orúkọ yẹn báyà Adésínà wà lẹ́yìn ẹ̀. Kò dẹ̀ kí n má gbàgbé orúkọ yẹn o, Táíwò kọnu ayé mi, mo ní Táíwò obìnrin, mo ní Táíwò ọkùnrin, mo ní wọn lóríṣiríṣi. Ẹ ṣé gan ni, you are now added to the list of the Táíwos.
Yes ma.
Ẹ ṣé gan ni.
Yes ma.
Bí a ṣe mú program yìí lọ sí ìparí, a ò ní sọ̀rọ̀ tán o, a tún máa jọ ṣe meeting yìí ní next Saturday láṣẹ Èdùmàrè. Mo fẹ́ fi section tèmi lénìí yìí bí a ṣe ń represent ara wa níta as Yorùbá activist or àjọ wà nínú struggle yìí, let's keep doing that. Ẹ jẹ́ ká continue láti máa fún àwọn èèyàn wa ní awareness nílé lóko àti ní agbègbè wa náà lọ́rẹ̀ẹ́. Àwọn tó bá fẹ́ gbọ́ ni o, ẹni tí ò bá dẹ̀ fẹ́ gbọ́ náà wọ́n ní kéèyàn fún wọn ní sùúrù yẹn bó pẹ́ bóyá ó máa yé wọn. Délébàrè o, gbogbo nǹkan tá a bá dẹ̀ máa ṣe ní ọ̀sẹ̀ tuntun táwọn ó máa já sí rere. Ànífẹ́ ẹfẹsẹ̀ fún wa ní ṣìṣọ́ o. Inauguration yìí náà dẹ̀ máa dẹrùn fún àwọn èèyàn wa tó wà nílé, kò ní di gbómi tí omi ò tó. Ẹ ṣé o. Sister Ronke, can you take over from here? Whoever is on the list, so that we go to friends.
I think
yes. Thank you. Yes, I'm Grant. Thank you, Sister Fumi. Well, iṣẹ́ tèmi ni kí n dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ àwọn tí ó wá sí ìpàdé lénìí, àwọn tí wọ́n bá wa fọ̀rọ̀ jomitoro pẹ̀lú pàápàá jùlọ àwọn panelists wa àtàwọn tó ń béèrè ìbéèrè. Ẹ ṣé gan, a dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín. Lágbára Ọlọ́run, ẹ jẹ́ ká pàdé ní àkókò kan náà láago 3 ní ọ̀sẹ̀ tó ń bọ̀ lọ́jọ́ Saturday. Ẹ ṣé gan, a dúpẹ́ o. Ẹ má dẹ̀ gbàgbé, a ní kẹ́ fún wa lówó, kẹ́ donate owó fún wa. Kíní yẹn wà lórí chat room wa lórí website wa www.yorubanationgd.org. Ẹ jẹ́ ká rówó yín. Ẹ ṣé gan, thank you so much. A tún pàdéra ní ọ̀sẹ̀ tó ń bọ̀ lágbára Ọlọ́run.
National anthem of the newly formed Ududuwa Nation.
màmá kíni bá rò fún yèyé o bàbá kíni bá rò kíni bá rò kíni bá rò kíni bá rò fún màmá mi bí mo délé.